Minions of the Zoo. In space. Tonight's episode, The Crippled Engine.
Looked like a threat to national security.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Minions of the Zoo in Space. I am your host.
In space.
Space. I'm your keeper for the night, Tyr Alexander, and with me is Traveling Exhibits, Mitch Nemo. Yo, Mitch.
I remembered to wear my pants.
Thank you. And James Colley. What up, James?
Oh, not a whole lot. Just sending good vibes out in the world.
Like hell. Well, you both know what I'm talking about, don't you?
Yeah.
Fucking psychic dick pic motherfucker.
Need I repeat myself?
James Colley has invented the psychic dick pic.
Yes. Is that good?
I hope you're proud of yourself. This is what history will remember you for.
Yay! If we had a bigger audience, I'd share it with everybody.
No, don't. We don't want to scare them away.
No.
Maybe when we break 50 viewers,
we're changing the subject so it doesn't persist.
Yes. All right.
If your psychic dick pic lasts more than 4 hours, call your doctor.
Please consult your doctor.
No, you're supposed.
Ask your doctor if psychic dick pics are right for you.
All right.
What was her name?
Set up a red alert really quickly. Yeah, I haven't did these.
At all?
No, I haven't done. I missed out.
Like two days left.
I could buy it out, but it's not worth it.
Yeah, I don't do the buyouts. I'm too damn cheap.
Agreed. All right.
We get what, about 4 of those a year, I guess? Red alerts? I don't know how many, maybe 6.
Yeah, we get about it's only a few. They only come in between
yeah, the bigger content drops.
Yeah. Oh, I can't.
Content drops and events.
Yeah. You know what? Tomorrow starts the new event, right?
Oh, does it?
It's set the 17th.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, I'm just saying time's flying on me. But go on.
Yeah, and they're adding new content, so hopefully it isn't shit.
Well, yeah, they're doing a few more system patrols and a new TFO, but they're not releasing the new story missions for I forget what reason they gave. But it was kind of valid.
But they're gonna wait till the beginning of the year.
I don't remember, to be honest. Oh, look, it's the Bjorg.
The Bjorn.
Let us fight the Bjorg.
Oh, just came across a meme.
God, I hope you wiped it off.
Ew.
But it's asking who was one of the hottest women of the 80s. And for me, it's a 4-way tie.
Yeah. All right. Who?
Between Kirstie Alley, Kelly LeBrock, Susanna Hoff, and Valeria Golino.
You know who the hell that is?
I don't know. I only know one of those people.
Valerie Golino was in Big Top Pee Wee. She was one of the trapeze.
That sounds like the name of a trapeze artist, honestly.
A trapeze artist? I didn't know they were tramps. Okay.
Well, I can't.
No, so shots.
God damn it.
How in the hell am I so ineffective here? What is going on? That's the wrong button.
That's what.
Yes.
That's what she said. All right, because this happened so close to this show, and I'm gonna talk about it. They tried again and they fucking failed. And it's fucking beautiful and sad, but beautiful that they keep fucking failing. God damn it, did it go out on me again? God there? Fucking Discord's a piece of shit. Where is it? Discord. Ah.
You there, caller? Hi.
Hi.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm back.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Fucking Discord's a piece of shit.
Yes, we heard you the first time.
But yes,
Why am I not firing my goddamn space laser weapons? For fucking out loud. Okay. I'm getting angry, sorry. What the fuck was I talking about? Oh, yeah, the assassination
yes.
thing. Yeah, they tried again, failed again. I think we're kind of being spoon-fed a suspect.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't surprise me that suspect is the actual shooter either. I'm constantly amazed at how wrong the people of America, even the people who are who tend to be on my side of these things, or who seem to be on my side of these things. In this country, we read things wrong. We look at this second attempt on Trump, and we're still bouncing around going, oh, all the violent political rhetoric, blah, blah, blah. And I got news for you. Violent political rhetoric is a smokescreen.
Yes.
It's not violent political rhetoric that's causing these people to do this. They both have ties to BlackRock. One was
Yo, Six.
Hey, Six. One is a oh, it's going to come to me. One had interactions with the FBI. The other is a
CIA asset.
Is looking like a CIA asset. This is not the result of political rhetoric. This is coordination.
And corruption.
Well, yes, of course it's corruption. I mean, it's an illegal act. It's corruption. But this is a coordinated effort. This is not accidental. Violent political rhetoric is not going to these kinds of overlaps.
Okay.
You know, it's not going to create an effort like this. This is coordinated. I mean, look at the shooters, white males. Because that's the demographic we get to demonize all over the place now. Like I've already said, ties to the feds on various levels, ties to BlackRock, each of them. And I'm telling you, the smartest thing President Trump can do right now is revet through his own personnel the Secret Service, the members of a Secret Service detail, and probably hire on 2 people for every one of that detail to be private security for him, private executive protection, because the Secret Service ain't cutting it. If this shooter knew where Trump was going to be when Trump made a spur of the moment decision to be where he was, yeah, it's got to be a mole. And honestly, this second guy is an escalation from the first guy. The first guy was basically a kid who someone could coerce to do this kind of stuff, and because that kind of coercion, that leaves a great distance between the feds and the shooter. Except they didn't do a good job of it, and they never do, and they still don't understand how information works. Otherwise, they could do a good job of it. And this guy, he's been working with the CIA. He's been an agent for, what is it, Zelensky? And getting people to join the Zelensky regime, the army, as cannon fodder. So he's a little more experienced, and of course he's older, but he's more experienced than the first guy. It's an escalation. The next escalation is to hire an honest-to-God professional killer.
All right, so
A genuine. I was going to say world weary, but that's not the word I'm looking for.
an actual hitman.
Yes.
A
An
professional
honest-to-God
killer.
hitman. Because they get more desperate each time, and the desperate is revealed in these escalations.
But you know.
So Trump needs to prepare before it gets to that stage, because that is the next stage. And if they fail at that stage, they're going to start going after his family.
Are attacking along 3 vectors. These vectors
In fact, he needs to plan for that right now too.
Mhm.
The map
Get smart and listen to what I'm saying and make other plans.
Again, I just this shit here. When did our
crazy.
politics devolve into this? Like, you know, looking at
Well, it devolved into this when we had a president who was not beholden to the bureaucracy, the deep state, if you will. Everyone calls it the deep state, or
get Trump
them,
over,
or whatever it is.
like the Pope Mobile.
Yeah. And meanwhile, Harris is going around with fucking. Oh, I guess I can move now. Harris is running around like with bulletproof glass and whatnot, like anyone's trying to shoot her.
Like no one gives a fuck about her. Her own party doesn't give a fuck about her.
Has opened between the lanes.
In part, yeah.
Location is marked on your
But
map.
remember, that's the other thing they're going to do, because they're going to see that going after Trump is making him more popular. So they're going to go after her with a fake attempt in the hopes that the same will happen. The thing is, there's none of their assets that they can frame to go after her the way they can to go after Trump.
Yeah, but the problem is they want to hurt him. They seriously want to hurt him. If
Yes.
if they actually hurt her, if they seriously do damage her, like kill her, it would totally fuck up their whole motivation. Like,
Well, that's just it. That they would do it, but they wouldn't. They would think they're doing it in a way that they can hide it. Because honestly, she's a mess.
she's
She's a
not
damn
even a mess.
disaster for this campaign.
She's not even a mess. She is Mondale, literally Mondale. She is not meant to win.
Right.
Like, they're putting her up in hope she wins. Like, but she's fucking Mondale. It is literally the Reagan Mondale race all over again.
Yes.
And I'm not gonna lie, like, I wasn't there, but I know enough about that whole situation to go, yup, mm-hmm.
Oh, I was there. Mondale was a dog.
Has been closed.
Yeah.
He was never going to win. He was never going to have a chance.
And the assassination attempt only bolstered Reagan. Look what they're fucking doing now.
Yep.
It's
Again, it's
only
another
served to help.
example it's another example of nobody learning from history.
Yep.
Didn't we already shut down this damn?
But again, I tell people all the time, I know how to defeat Trump. Ignore him.
Yep.
If they'd have left Trump alone, let him rage, and ignored him, not bothered him, he wouldn't have the popularity he has. He probably would have been a serious contender. People saying, look at, you have 4 years of me, and then you have 4 years of Biden, and look where you at. That would have been like his biggest claim to fame, but y'all went after him. Y'all attacked him. Y'all sent everything y'all could throw at the man, and you only made him strong because y'all wouldn't leave him the fuck alone.
I don't get what's happening in this instance. Sorry.
I don't fucking know this one. I hate this one. It's like 3 lanes, and you're supposed to destroy the Undine as they come out the lanes and whatnot.
Oh, and the rifts, but
yeah.
I swear I destroyed that rift, but it's still there. So I'm waiting for, I guess I'm waiting for the...
Scan of the rift now.
What's it to what's it?
Somebody will figure it out. I don't know. I just shoot shit.
What the fuck is happening, man?
I guess we have. It says we gotta close 6 rifts and whatnot. So I guess that's what it is. Did somebody join?
There. Come on.
Chaos Archive says it sucks that Trump has to keep his head on a swivel. It really does.
Yeah, it does. But here's the other thing that's going to happen. If they get him, this country's devolving into civil war, and it's going to be ugly.
It is.
And I'll tell you, it's going to be government against people.
Not even that. It's going to be the puppets against like everybody else that doesn't want to be part of the machine.
Right. Well, then, yeah. When I say government against the people, I don't mean all of the people who live in America. Mm-hmm. I mean the Americans who live in America.
The ones that love the country.
Yeah, I'll clarify that again for the people in the cheap seats. I'm not talking about people born here. I'm not talking about people who immigrated here. Mm-hmm. And I'm not talking about people who entered here illegally. I'm talking about people who respect what America was designed to be. Mm-hmm. Talking about people that respect and honor the concept of American liberty. That's what I mean when I say the Americans. The thing is, it's the Americans who own all the guns, you know?
Mm-hmm. Or not even that, it's the Americans who can think. Like, I don't own a gun, but I know I'm fucking clever enough to defeat any Antifa commie shit in a battle of wits. I'm that confident in my abilities. And I don't need a fucking weapon to destroy them.
Performing a scan of the
Although it would help.
It would. It most definitely would. But if it came down to a battle of wits, yeah, I'm smart money's gonna be on me. Because I learned the lessons of history. I know how to fucking plan and strategize. Oh, and because I'm black, I can infiltrate. I know all your fucking code words.
Oh yeah. Well, that's the thing, man. They get Trump. They're done. They're fucking done because we Americans, we're not going to distinguish between good cop and bad cop. We're going to see a uniform.
Yeah.
You know, and make no mistake, the Americans need to understand this. The police are the standing army of the pro-tyranny movement. That's another thing we have to realize and come to terms with. When they say stand behind police and stand behind law and order, that's all well and good. But there are no good cops.
Yeah.
And I can prove it logically. If we had good cops, then
Undine fluid
the bad cops wouldn't be able to do anything.
I'm out of range. Well, no, basically yes, because if we had good cops and because officer safety is such a fucking issue, then it would make sense that the bad cops would stop being bad cops because of officer safety, and that the good cops would put 2 in the head of the bad cops for officer safety.
Or they would clap them in irons.
Yes. Essentially, the good cops would get the bad cops out. But that's not happening. And that's not happening because there are no good cops. And apart from that, I mean, the judges and prosecutors, they're all implicated too. Because the good cops would do something if the judges and prosecutors would back them up. Hell, if there were any good cops, the chiefs of police and the sheriffs would get in and do something about it, but they don't.
You got the chief of police. His brother is using his twin brother is using his influence in New York to strong arm people. What the fuck? Like, how is this?
What'd you say? Oh, there you go.
So in New York City,
Yeah.
Undine are retreating, and Ferenginar
his brother is using the ex-chief of police. Is using his brother's position to strong arm businesses, other clubs, into like paying protection money.
Sounds about right. Sounds about right to me.
That's why he recently resigned. And then you got a place like Dalton, Illinois, with either Dalton Township or Thornton Township. Their chief of police was fucking a puppet of the fucking mayor. And
Oh yeah.
and he went
That's
after
everywhere.
her political enemies or the people that slighted her.
Yes. What the hell are you doing?
And now I'm just jumping around.
Okay.
This shit is fucking insane.
Well, it's like that everywhere. Look at Loudoun County.
Yeah.
When the police basically arrested the father of the girl who got raped because he was complaining at a school board meeting that they allowed his daughter to get raped.
Yes, and they did nothing to the boy.
That's-
They just fucking moved him.
Yeah, they moved him to so the girl could get raped. The father had every right to complain, even if he was wrong. He had every right to complain because that's what the First Amendment says.
Shit.
That right there is the First Amendment. In the First Amendment, that is petitioning the government for a redress of grievances. And the fucking police are the goddamn Gestapo that come in and arrest you when you don't break the law. They do shit on camera, on their own camera. Now they know you've got a camera, and there are third-party cameras that they all know are recording, and they continue to escalate this behavior. They are not on the side of the American people. They are villains.
Yeah.
They do this stuff on camera knowingly because they know they have a system that will back them up over us. When's the last time you saw police address something before a video was released?
I can't quite remember.
But 2 months after the incident, once the video is released, oh well, we took a look. Why is no one in law enforcement? Why does no one have a job of reviewing body camera footage when there's an arrest made? Why does that position apparently not exist?
I couldn't tell you, Mitch. Shit, there was
People think I'm extreme. Oh, sorry, go on.
I was about to say, there was recently a woman that tried to claim the cop raped her. And the body cam footage vindicated him.
Yes. That's the other thing, if the cop is innocent, the body cam's going to show that too, or at least it should. But even the body cam is restricted by what it can see. That's why it's important to have all those other,
all
that other video evidence available.
Yeah,
Don't give me this shit. It takes 6 months to fucking review it and investigate it.
Shit, it took them. The accusation went out, and not even maybe a month, few days. Nope. We have your arrest on camera.
Yep.
This totally vindicated.
But when it's the cop who broke into the woman's house and arrested her for not stepping outside, then it takes 2 months to review the video.
Shit. Or you got situations like what? All right. This shit was fucked up all the way. I didn't get a chance to talk about it because it didn't cross my mind Saturday, but I want to talk about it now. The Tyr Irving situation. Everybody in that shit was that Ty interaction was fucked up. He was in the wrong.
Yeah.
The cop was in the wrong. The fucking teammates were in the wrong. Like everybody in that, everybody was in the wrong. The cop
Yeah,
shouldn't have. Yeah,
it's a group effort.
It was. The cop shouldn't have escalated. Like he shouldn't have escalated. But Tyree Irving, or Tyree Nichols, whatever the fuck his name is, should not have rolled up his window. He should have fucking been respectful. Yes, I'm sorry. I was speeding, officer. My bad. My mistake. I was trying to get to a game. It's late. You know, I got only like a few minutes to get there. He shouldn't have been speeding. He shouldn't have gotten rowdy. He should have followed their orders. His teammate should have never jumped into it. You know?
Yeah.
Like, I get that that's your boy and all. You could have waited on the sideline. Like, look, I'm just here making sure that my teammate, my friend, is safe. I'm not going to get involved. I can hear from a distance. I don't need to be involved in it. Like, or I don't need to be that close where you have to say something. I can wait right here to make sure that everything's going okay. And my camera...
police... There are many things to be aware of here, and one of them is that police want all devices out of earshot.
I get
because
that. You can't
because
hear
if yeah, exactly. Because the audio track provides a context in addition to the video, and if the police can lie about what was said on scene,
they
will
get away with it.
Yeah,
makes sense.
Mental video, basically private video, that will contradict what the report says, because they will hide their own body cam video either via malfunctions or whatever, or corrupted whatever.
Yeah.
You know, corrupted data, blah, 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 to get away with whatever they want to get away with. And their fucking chiefs and lieutenants and shift commanders will cover them while they do it.
Mm-hmm.
Because, as I, just to basically follow up on what I said before, there are no good cops. If cops have no choice but to be corrupt, they're still corrupt.
Yep. One bad apple spoils the bunch.
Pretty much. That's the important part. They always say, well, few bad apples. Yeah, finish the expression. Because the rest of the expression is the important part there.
Yes. Shit, I just recently learned the blood is thicker than water. And the whole line is, the blood of the covenant is thicker than the water of the womb. The friends you claim, the friends you make, are more closer to you than your actual family. That is what that saying.
Chosen.
Yeah, because you chose them. Yes, that is what that saying means. It doesn't mean that family is thicker than a friend. Mm-mm.
Right. Family doesn't go through the vetting process that a friend does.
Yeah.
It's always been my experience.
What? Go ahead, James. Finish.
I think that he was just agreeing.
Oh.
Yeah. That's what I was saying. I mean, family will fuck you harder and faster than a friend will.
Yeah.
And we all have that anecdotal evidence. There's always that one family. When I said that, it came to your mind.
Yep. They smile in your face and stab you in the back in the same fucking breath. They always got their hand out. They always got their hand out when they need something, but when you need, oh no, I ain't got shit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know. All right, where the hell is the dead? Oh, goddamn! How the fuck did it get there?
Yeah, I know. It seems like lately it's been harder to find.
Nah, normally it appears at Alpha. But
I'm sorry.
It's all good.
We am joined by the rotten corpse.
Oh God, it's a rotten corpse.
But yeah, the corruption in this country. How did I phrase it? I got to look it up.
It's rotten to the core, and it should be rooted out.
Excellent.
No, I'll find it. It's one of the memes I've posted, so I have easy access to it. There we go. How did I phrase it? Here it comes. It's coming up. It's taking its time. It's just an image. There it is.
It's like a sneeze.
Any group of government employees or contractors, regardless of job description, shall henceforth be known as a villainy. Because that's where we are with our government now. It's a fucking villainy.
Well, I agree with you. I mean, if you owe the IRS money, they want it RFN like last year.
They want it now. Don't matter if you got it or not. They want it when they want it. But they owe you something. Though we'll get to you in 6 months.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. And you better have all your T's crossed and your I's dotted.
Well, yeah, and not to mention, it's not just the IRS though. It's
Any government agency.
credit card companies, banks. When you need to do a chargeback, or anytime you need a refund, if you purchase something, the purchase process is right now, but if you need a refund, it takes 6 months, or a week, or whatever. Suddenly the process is no longer instantaneous. Why the fuck is that?
Yep.
Give me a drink of this here coffee, goddammit. That's another example, actually, of the two-tier justice system. Granted, it's a smaller example, but it's still there. And it's been there for quite a while.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, what am I? Yeah.
There's an endeavor I need to do, but I don't think, hopefully it'll pop.
Which one is?
Defend Rehoa Station.
Oh, yeah, that'll pop.
Let's see.
Because you're probably not the only one who needs to do it. Mine popped pretty well earlier today. And it's a fun little ground mission.
Okay.
Oh,
But yeah,
itching my
that's
ear, and
what
I don't
need
want to
to get.
remove my earbud. The Rotten Corpse, what's your take? Is there any part of our government that's not corrupt? He muted. He must be going to the wee-wee.
He must be checking the toaster at the gym.
He's
No, it's because shit gets loud, and I was putting on weights and whatnot. So,
Oh, okay.
you guys didn't want to hear, clang, 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 clang. Oh,
Oh, it landed on my scrotum.
Oh, moth.
But what do you think? Rotten, is there any part of our government that is not corrupt?
probably like volunteer park rangers.
Yeah, maybe. But even volunteers, you give them a little, give them a title and a costume.
And they go nuts.
That's all it takes.
Some you know what? I realize
And that one, it all depends on the person, because there are some that they are specifically doing it just because they don't want to see the park itself destroyed or
Right.
and whatnot.
Now, when people bounce around saying things like there ought to be a law, no, there shouldn't. You're part of the problem.
Mhm.
Honestly, I think the favorite one I've seen comes on, I saw on Twitter, where it's like, oh, where'd you just trust in the government start? When I got a ticket for not wearing a seatbelt by a guy on a motorcycle.
Yep. Why is it? Is it on?
But
I'm just wondering if I'm wearing the thing or not. I can't see my character's face with this shit. I'm in shadow.
yes, this mission must be the dark mission.
There. Well, sort of. I could have done that,
light.
I suppose.
Well,
But
I have an odd
Yep.
take on things.
Go right ahead.
I do, there are certain things that I do in our government, and it's probably my naiveness, but I believe that to a certain point, before you learn all the inside baseball of things, the people that are on the front lines, they're honest.
Well, like
Now,
cops.
it's when you get up into the
God damn it.
administration or
I
ups,
think he means like soldiers on the front lines.
yeah,
With the
and
saying,
even
Well, cops are a standing army, so that would mean them too.
Well, I'm also talking about like the local office, Social Security Administration, your clerks and all that. They're honest.
Yeah, they
You know,
honestly
it's the
can't do anything
bureaucrats
for you
that
because of the middle managers and higher.
right. You know, but they're doing the best they can with what they got, just like our soldiers. Now,
When you're
are
not
there
giving the orders, you can only do is
that-
follow.
right, and there's certain soldiers that should not wear the uniform
Yes, I agree.
because what was that one? Black Hawk Down, the one that Meg Ryan was in, was based on a.
Yeah, Black Hawk Down.
Yeah, those guys shouldn't have been wearing a fucking uniform.
Agreed.
But anywho,
I mean, but that's human fallibility. You have those people that are just corrupt. You know, you have those people who are literally just broken. You know, you have those people that are born fucking monsters. You can't take the human nature out of humans, no matter what you do. Some people are going to be greedy and want more than their fair share. Some people are going to want to, you know, just to see everybody fucking serve them. They're going to want to bark orders. And the problem is, government attracts the narcissist.
Yes, it does.
Like, by nature of what it is, you know, it's not the most capable that step up. It's the ones that, you know, want to be in the limelight.
Yeah,
Like,
pretty much.
You know, I'm not tooting my own horn or anything, but I'm lazy. I don't want to fucking do shit.
Yeah.
I want to wake up
Well,
each morning, go to work, come home, and go to bed. That's all I fucking want to do. I don't want the responsibilities of leadership because I don't want to have to make the tough decisions. Huh?
and maybe single out a few cheerleaders for investigation.
But I don't want to have to make decisions that could cost somebody their life. I don't want that moral responsibility. I don't want to know that my ineptitude or my lack of proper knowledge in a situation caused the death of somebody's loved one. I don't want that responsibility.
See, getting to something I was mentioning before about how we don't look at things properly. I've got two more examples. One is the abortion issue. Everyone thinks it's a states' rights issue.
I need to speak with you.
Well, all the pro-lifers
Control.
are like, hey, let's return it to the states. I'm like, no, it's not a states' right issue. It's a due process issue. I don't want to go into all the big spiel about that, but in essence, abortion is a death sentence, and the person being killed is not having a trial, is not having a lawyer, is not having a jury. It's a due process issue.
Really quickly, Chaos Archive says evil cannot create, it only corrupts.
Yes, or destroys.
Yeah, it destroys.
That's absolutely.
I don't
true.
know.
But I agree with you, Mitch. But I think we need to teach responsibility. I honestly do.
Well, absolutely we do. But one of the ways to do that is to enforce due process.
And enforce consequences. You can't just get rid of it.
Well, yeah,
because
that's
it's
what due
inconvenience.
process is for.
Well, yeah. You know,
Exactly.
it's an inconvenience. That's why I want to get rid of it. No, you can't. You laid down with full knowledge of what could happen when you opened your legs and let him inside you. You
No, see,
knew
that's
full
just
well.
it. They want the benefit of having the right to choose,
But none of
but
the responsibility.
they don't get to exercise that right retroactively.
Yes.
You don't get to change your mind after you
Power
fuck
problems are under control.
a fetus
There's an
into
illogical force
yourself.
in main engineering.
Oh, that's why a lot of
It's
organizations,
a singularity core.
quite a few have gotten mad at me when I consented to sex. I didn't consent to pregnancy. It's like pregnancy is a potential result of sex. Consenting to sex, you consented to all of the potential outcomes of sex.
Yes.
Right.
When you
Exactly.
didn't
One
take
of the first sexually transmitted disease.
yes, you didn't consent to that, but that was the response. That. All right, I got either one to you. If I got
was
behind the
okay.
wheel and killed somebody, drunk. I was drunk when I got behind the wheel. I was drinking and I got drunk and I went behind the wheel and I killed somebody. I'm still responsible for that death, even if I did not intend to do it. The consequences
you
of
know,
my actions.
Let's put it in a different context entirely now. You consented to walking over broken glass, but you didn't consent to having your feet cut open.
Yes, that is a consequence of that action.
Right.
A and B led to C.
Basically, yes.
Yeah. You know,
Well, for that one as well, it also means that you walked over the glass the wrong way.
Wait, what?
Because if you say you consented to walking over the broken glass, you didn't consent to getting your feet cut. Well, you can walk over the broken glass without getting your feet cut if you walk properly, if you follow the right steps.
Well, yeah, if you walk
So-
carefully,
yeah.
or if you put some shoes on.
Or
Yeah.
yes, you take
So
you use
literally, if you
protection.
use protection,
Yeah, exactly.
Chase, you owe me a Coke.
God damn it.
Now, one of the other mistakes we make is there are people, pro Second Amendment people, who still think that you can have common sense gun laws. You can't. You absolutely can't. Nowhere in the Constitution does it grant government at any level the authority to legislate against firearms.
Shall
Against firearms
not
use and
be infringe. I don't know how to say
Security
it.
of a free state. You know, yeah, shall not be infringed. Security of a free state, etc.,
Shit.
etc.
Oh, I love when they bring up, oh, you couldn't own cannons. Yes, there were private citizens that paid for to have their merchant ships outfitted with cannons.
Yep.
They were private
I have
citizens
a
to
theory.
protect their ships against piracy.
You have a what, James?
I have a theory.
Okay.
Well,
Okay.
before you get into your theory, I wanted to say this. Don't forget, during the Revolutionary War, majority of the cannons that were used by the revolutionaries
We're probably
were owned by
Yeah.
private citizens. It's the same with our fucking civil war.
Same with our Navy.
Well, our Navy's the only one that we technically don't have to go through and not retroactively, like every
Well, yeah, it
couple
doesn't
of
have to go through an
Yeah.
approvals process every year.
Yeah, but originally our Navy would just probably own ships.
Yes.
They weren't. They were probably own ships. You know, that agreed to, hey, we're leasing these to you. You know, for the purposes of defense.
There are two active
Right.
transwarp conduits in this
Now,
system, along with a stable
where it becomes even more fun
the Borg are short to send.
is I got into a debate with this guy on, and it was a friendly debate.
Hold on, really
Make
quick. I
no
want to
mistake.
read Chaos Archives
Right on.
chat. My favorite quote is by Bill Burr. If I was baking a cake and you grabbed that cake and threw it across the floor, I would have had a cake. It wasn't a cake yet. Well, it would have been in 45 minutes. It's the abortion thing with the. It's not a baby yet. It would have been.
Yeah. Now,
Exactly.
I had a very
Right.
friendly debate
Okay.
because there was no name calling. It was point counterpoint.
Mhm.
And this person had suggested that as long as the rights of gun owners are respected, we can have common sense gun legislation. And I'm like, no, we can't, because that's a compromise with tyranny. He said, no, well, we could have a framework where blah, 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 blah. And I simply posed the question, who's in charge of monitoring and enforcing this framework? And he goes, the same as with everything else, the police and the courts. And I go, there you go. The two organizations that increasingly showed their lack of trustworthiness.
Headed for the time. Stop them.
We cannot trust them to maintain and monitor and enforce such a framework. They are untrustworthy because here's the trick that they use. And I'm not talking about the courts, and I'm talking about legislators and tyrants, etc. They use legislation passed today that is common sense legislation as a wedge tomorrow.
Yes.
Make no mistake, they will take that legislation and twist it and mold it and bend it so that it fits any situation they want it to.
It's like the Roe v. Wade. It wasn't about abortion. It was about, privacy. But they twisted it and turned it, and now it's about abortion. Shit. The equal protection under the law and affirmative action shit. It was only designed to ensure that free men got shit. Any baby born here shall have the rights as citizens. It only meant slaves. Yep. It was only intended to ensure the citizenry of the slaves. They were born here. Yep. It wasn't about foreigners.
No.
But they twisted it and it turned it into, oh well, if you're born on this soil, you have birthright citizenship. No, the fuck you don't. If I was born in Germany to two Americans, I'd be an American. I wouldn't automatically be a German.
That's right.
And that one, it does depend, because if it's two American citizens, it's usually a no thing, but it can also depend on like how long you've been there.
If I was just born there and we came back immediately,
how long you were there, how long the parents were there, because if they were there overseas because of like working on something or other, whether it be military or working abroad or something, they would plausibly give the child an option to have dual citizenship.
Yes.
I would have the option, but I wouldn't automatically have it.
My eldest brother was born in Germany because my dad was a soldier. And blah, 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 blah. Mm-hmm. But he's an American. Well, he didn't spend like the formative years of his life in Germany. And I'm not sure if he has dual citizenship or not.
I feel like this. If you're illegally crossing my borders and you give birth to a child, your child is a Mexican. It's not American. You're not supposed to be here. Your child isn't supposed to be here. You're supposed to be over there.
You're going with the fruit of the poisonous tree angle, essentially.
This is why I'm a fucking huge isolationist.
That's an evidentiary thing, but it's kind of the same concept.
Mm-hmm.
If you're,
well, James has his theory out, because I know I interrupted him before he said he had a theory.
Sorry, James.
Go on.
It's kind of hard to see.
I just meant to interject real quick before I went and did my next set, and I was like, oh shit, and just kind of like fell onto a thing. So hopefully you didn't lose what you were thinking.
No, I didn't lose what I was. But I think that all the gun laws need to be, and any prosecutions, like now they're going after the gun manufacturers. They're going after the people who sold the gun and legalities.
People who dyed the plastic that become part of the gun.
To quote my favorite line from Romeo Must Die, guns don't kill people. People with guns kill people. Right. How many times has your gun got up out of nowhere and shot somebody?
Today?
Well, I'm not really aware of any, but sometimes they dip out when I'm.
You leave them at home. You come home, your door's slightly ajar, your gun's covered in blood.
There's 45 miles on your odometer.
Gun, what have you been doing?
Like they keep trying to go after manufacturers, and they realize they can't, because technically the the firearms or the ammo used, or it's like did what it was supposed to. So there was nothing on that. It's not like if a fucking
Yeah, it's not like it was.
vehicle blew up and it should have had a recall because it had an issue.
Yeah, it served its designed purpose. It's not like it's put together negligently.
That's why, like, one of the things they were trying to push for a while is because technically through an FFL, you go and you buy a gun. Once your background check has been done or been put through, if you get delayed, the ATF has 72 hours to approve or disprove your background check. And if they don't within the 72 hours, it is up to the discretion of the
Shop owner.
the FFL to actually let that sale go through or not. And there have been people saying, well, maybe they just need a few more days and we should just let them, it's like add some more to it. And the biggest one that they were trying to push for was an indefinite hold. And it's like, until they decide they can't do it. It's like, no, because then that's going to put everyone on indefinite hold.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's like the ones trying to say, well, gun owners should have insurance on that. It's like, you cannot make it. It's like, cause that on the right. It's like, that's causing people to have to spend, it's like, it's putting a dollar value on a right to exercise it, and it's not supposed to be there.
Well, you could say the same about driving a car.
Driving a car is not a right, though. Driving a car is technically a privilege. You are free to travel.
Where does it say in the Constitution that the government has the authority to limit your ability and means of travel?
I mean, back in the day, you could own a horse if you could afford it. I mean, anybody going to put insurance on?
I'm in agreement that it shouldn't be a thing because, I mean, shit, what was it, 35, 40 years ago? No, it's still probably over 40 years ago. Like, you didn't even have to have a license. The only time that they even made a license was for people driving for specific companies.
Yeah, commercial purposes.
Yeah, for commercial purposes. And then the fucking states got it involved into it.
Well, yeah, they saw a cash cow and they.
Yeah, but still, technically, in that whole thing of them telling you that you can't, drive a vehicle without a license isn't freaking stopping your right of travel. You can still travel. It's just not going to be
Chaos Archives with two comments. Those Toy Story guns, LOL, and then technically there's nothing in the Constitution about traveling as far as I'm aware.
There isn't. I mean, I had to read it repeatedly just to write that damn book.
Anywho, it's funny that we're talking about traveling.
Got to run to the bathroom?
No.
Bathroom?
I think that if in cases of vehicular, that unless they charge the manufacturer of the car, the owner of the dealership, and all that, then guess what? You need to leave the gun laws alone. If they're not prepared to do that with drunk drivers.
Shit.
I got a better one.
I
got a better one for you.
Then on top of that,
Cigarette money.
they need to go after the alcohol manufacturer, the bar.
Tobacco.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you can't do that because of the prohibition. Overturn. I can't remember what amendment that is.
18th and 21st.
Yes, if I'm not mistaken. I can look it up really quickly. I'm not in anything.
Well, the 18th Amendment was the prohibition of alcohol.
Right.
I think it was the 21st that repealed the 18th, but it might be the 21st.
Yeah, that's the one I'm referring to is the 21st. And but unless you're prepared to go to that extreme, you need to leave the gun laws alone.
Yep, Mitch is correct. 18th and 21st.
Now, here's the funny part. If they're going to go after the gun manufacturers and the automobile manufacturers and dealers and et cetera, they need to go after the state for issuing the license for the automobile. They need to go after the state for. Hang on, my brain just locked.
The state for issuing, the state for the roads, that led to the condition.
Oh, no, I'm sorry.
The fact that they were out there.
Well, yeah, you need to go after every state agency that's involved in any way with driving an automobile, but then you also get to go after the FBI and the ATF for failing to provide a background check in a timely manner.
You need to go after them for failing to not looking at the warning signs that this person may at some point in their life snap and kill somebody. But then again, the problem wait a minute.
That brings us back to the various assassination attempts, doesn't it?
Yeah, but Mitch,
I mean, because the CIA knew about the second guy, the FBI knew about the first guy, and somehow these people got their hands on firearms anyway.
Yeah.
How is that not a failure of the FBI and the Secret Service, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera?
Both individuals were in a BlackRock video.
Yes.
Promotional video.
Yes, they both have ties to BlackRock. They both have ties to federal agencies.
She survived. Downloaded herself into this.
It's all fuckery. Like I said, it's all coordinated. This is not the result of political rhetoric.
Yo, Keith.
Hey, Keith. And it just, this is what I mean. It shocks me that there are so many of us in this country, and I mean the good, honest Americans, who don't see it.
I don't think it's not that they don't see it. They don't want to see it. They want to keep their eyes closed and their heads down and buried in the sand like a fucking ostrich. They want to be misled. You know? They believe... I'm going to say, like, half of them is that they believe they're on the right side of history and they're doing the moral thing.
There is no right side of history, by the way.
No, it isn't. History doesn't give two shits about right or wrong. History records everything that happens.
History is written by the victor.
Yes, but it's also written by those that fucking remember it.
Yes.
Like, sometimes the victor's not the one that writes it. They add their spin, like Rome added their spin. The Vikings are savages. No, they weren't. Yeah, they raided and pillaged.
American history for revisionism data, considering the fact of how many commies have been going through and trying to basically paint everything America's done as being the bad guy.
Yeah.
It's the reason why, like, actually atomic bombs were dropped. They were like, oh no, the Japanese didn't surrender because of that. Because a little bit after that, Russia, you know, they attacked one of these small islands that really wasn't near a big thing or anything. But that's the reason why the Japanese surrendered.
Bullshit. America showed that we harnessed the power of the fucking sun.
I think it was Emperor Hirohito.
Yeah, it was Hirohito.
Was it Emperor Hirohito who said in a press release or a newscast or something, the war is proceeding not entirely in our favor. One of the great understatements of history.
No, one of the great understatements was, I forget the name of the admiral who was on the bridge of the ship, and I forget the name of the ship, when they attacked Pearl Harbor. He went, I fear we have awakened a sleeping giant.
Yes. Well, and that's, this giant's been sleeping too long. This giant is hitting the fucking snooze button, and this is where we are today as a result.
Yeah. I think it was also the same general that said that in America there's a gun behind every blade of grass.
Probably. That was an admiral, actually, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Admiral General, sorry. Tomato.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Well, let's not forget when let's not forget you're talking about epic. Let's not forget Custer. His face. I think we can take them.
All right. I say this, and I meant it. Custer fucked himself. Him trying to rush that battle, him trying to rush it and not bringing those machine guns, fucked him over. He should have waited. There, I said it. I stand by it. Just like Hannibal. Hannibal should have never he should have guarded his retreat. He had Rome within his sights, and had he protected himself against those fucking mountains, he'd have won. Rome would have been fucking sacked, and we'd all be speaking Carthaginian right now. Sorry, I get a little passionate about
Oh no, it's fine. I've got a stiff muscle in my back. It's in a weird spot, so I got a
biggest
flex
military
muscle.
fuck ups in history. I have bugaboos about those.
But that's my concern though. Is if they succeed in killing Trump, it's going to set something off in this country, and they ain't ready for it.
Yes.
Well, if
They
you're
think,
stiff
they
muscle
think the cops with
hours,
MRAPs are going to be a deterrent. They're wrong.
All right, this is my thing. It is 4 years of Trump. You will survive. You will survive. It isn't the end of the world. But the ones that are doing this are afraid that once he gets in, he's going to have bloodlust and revenge on his mom. And I don't fucking blame him.
They should be afraid, yes, but it's not because of revenge. It's because he will clean house this time around, I think.
Yeah, because he's unchanged. He'll be a lame duck president.
I mean, last time he was kind of a lame duck, except for handling shit on a more international level.
Yeah.
And for handling stuff with the economy. I think this time he's going to handle other shit too. In addition to those things, I think this time we're going to see certain federal agencies go away.
Yep.
Well, I'm pretty sure in this one as well, but a lot of people on the left don't realize that unless it's from a specific area, it's not revenge, it's just sparking thing.
It's not revenge, it's turnabout fair play.
Dude, it's a joke. It's kind of like the whole thing, if it's not from this specific area, it's not champagne, it's just water. Jesus Christ, here, make me fucking deconstruct a joke. God.
well, if you have to explain it, it isn't that funny.
Exactly. There you go.
Well, it's not my fault Tyr wants to be a fucking idiot.
Look, stop talking about my mental disabilities, alright?
I'm pretty sure fucking Mitch got it.
Ish.
Wait a minute, so you're saying Mitch is dumber than I am? Thank you.
No, I'm just saying,
No, I said Mitch got it.
There's going to be house cleaning, but it's not going to be. I don't think it's going to be based in revenge.
No.
But they'll report it as such. Make no
Yes.
mistake.
Oh yeah. The left media will be.
Oh, they're going to be desperate for everyone to believe the absolute worst.
You know what I love? I love the people that say, "Oh, Trump's gonna come after me if he gets back." Alec Baldwin, not Alec Baldwin, Robert De Niro. How the fuck would he care about you?
Yeah, out of demand actor number 806.
Yes, like, who are you?
Yeah. Ultimately, what's the value in going after De Niro? There is none.
Yes. What's the value of going after Stormy fucking Daniels?
None.
What is the
The
value?
only value, like I said before when we were talking about Stormy Daniels, the only value is the value that Trump brings to that particular table.
Yes.
Robert
his
De Niro
name-
is so out of demand that he has nothing to promote except his hatred for Trump.
Yes.
That's what they don't get. Maybe they do get it. I don't know. Maybe it's the part they're playing. But when's the last time you heard anyone in regular conversation say, "Hey, I can't wait for that next Robert De Niro movie"?
Exactly. Shit, I got one better for you.
Well, I do know a lot of people would say, if I remember correctly, it's the right person. A lot of people were like, well, I definitely liked in Joker when Joaquin Phoenix, leaned over and said, "You get what you deserve," and then shame him.
Oh, sure. But they only like that for different reasons. They don't like that because of the movie.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, that movie was trash.
Let me read from some
Right on.
Chaos Archives. The FBI, we knew about this guy. We've had 4 years of Trump before. We thrived, we survived much better than we are now. And if it's the same crap of if Trump wins, I'm leaving the country. Now if Trump wins, I'm going to jail. Oh, LOL, what a turn.
Yeah.
Again, Trump does. It's like, remember when Rosie O'Donnell did her fucking show tunes in front of the White House? Oh yeah, we're gonna sing in front of Trump. You know, that will really piss him off. Really?
Yeah, sure it will.
Like, what the fuck does it care? It's like when they painted like Black Lives Matter in front of Trump's Tower in New York. He doesn't live there. He's in fucking Mar-a-Lago. What does he fucking care?
Exactly.
Well, in all reality, it's that whole thing that they think they're the main character in every story,
Right.
and don't realize they're not.
They barely qualify as NPCs.
Yes.
And again, what has Rosie O'Donnell done in the last 10 years that is work of her own doing and not her position on Trump?
Yes. Again, out of demand actress number 442.
Right.
Well, and that whole thing, it's not just out of demand, it's out of touch as well, because they've been so far removed from regular society that they don't know what's going on. They don't know how it is.
Shit.
That's why, like, thing of like the Taylor Swift and being like, when she adores Kamala, oh, a woman who's known for her bad decisions
choices.
and also doesn't freaking have to worry about how much groceries cost. Like, this is a woman who has a private jet and private jets fucking everywhere. She is completely removed from the average individual.
Yes, she
Exactly.
does not. She does not pay for her groceries. Like every
No, someone
celebrity.
else buys those. Well, she pays for her groceries, but she sends someone else to get them.
Yeah,
Right.
but even
She-
then,
she-
they got a
She's basically the embodiment of let them eat cake.
Yes, she has a credit card that she sends her servant to go out and go get her. They are the nobility class. They don't fucking have to grow the food. Like you said, let them eat cake. It's because those bitches were eating good. They were eating duck and quail. But everybody else was fucking starving.
Yep.
Like,
And again, you bring up a great point with the nobility class, because how do we measure a title of nobility? Which is illegal in this country, by the way.
It is.
But how do we measure what a title of nobility is?
wealth and
Well,
status.
this-
Is it by the actions forced upon people by the people with the titles?
I usually put it to wealth and status. Like if you are rich enough to they are a noble class without the titles. Like again, if Mitch, if our grocery store is out of fucking food, we're fucked. If their grocery store is out of fucking food, they'll just go to another store.
Yep.
You know?
But you see what I'm getting at? I mean, when it comes to titles of nobility, is it the title itself that grants the nobility, or is it the actions and expectations of the people who have the titles?
I think it's the actions of the actions and expectations come before the title. The title is superfluous.
Yes, I agree.
Like a
Therefore, I
CEO could
would
be considered
argue-
nobility, if in a sense.
As such, I would argue that anyone with a title, judge, officer, deputy, prosecutor, public defender, these people are operating as nobility,
3 dreadnoughts, but they're attacking one another. This
and
is your
therefore their
chance.
titles of nobility are illegal because of how they behave.
Makes sense.
But you know, go ask a judge to agree with that assessment. The only one who might is Judge Joe Brown.
I mean, again, you know, when the king, you know, no one can judge the king, right? No one sits in judgment of the king.
Well, that's the thing. We do in this country. It's called the consent of the governed.
Well, yes, but we do.
All you can think of is now is every king should have a tattoo that just says "Only God can judge me," and it should be terrible fucking font.
Well, you know, the last couple of kings that used that only judge can judge me shit got their head removed. You know,
Well,
guillotines
that's not the
were.
result of a judgment. That's just putting them in a position where God can judge them.
You know, again, you know, Marie Antoinette let them eat cake, and like a couple of days later, she lost her head.
She was a strong.
Granted, she was an idiot, but still.
What the hell is going on? Why am I not doing damage like I should be?
Anywho, guys, I'm gonna have to
Dip out?
About,
talk with all y'all.
right. I guess it's James's bedtime. You know, Grandpa got to get up a little bit
damn.
early.
No, now I gotta get on some oxygen.
Oh,
Right on.
all right, my friend. You be easy.
All right, well, y'all take care.
Rock on, James.
All right, have a good night.
You too.
Oh, that's all right.
Oh, fuck. I gotta read this shit to you. God damn it, Chaos Archives. So, y'all, if you looked at my Twitter, I put, like, someone said, we need to apologize to these actresses for their, for the toxicity of the fandom.
No, we don't. But go on. I saw that tweet.
You know, and, Six graced us with a comment, and so did fucking Chaos Archives. And I'll read it the moment we get off the TFR.
Thank you for your assistance. We will assist the disconnected board members.
All right.
All right. So Six says, if anything, all these actors need apologies from Lucas/Disney for giving them shitty scripts written by actors who gave them poor characters to play. And then Chaos Archive, right? Terrible characters doesn't equal terrible actress. I wish these fucking weirdos would understand that. And that's what I put. Like, stop conflating the fact that people hate their characters with hating the actress. I think Kelly Marie Tran is a nice... In real life, Kelly Marie Tran and Daisy Ridley seem like nice people. Amanda Stenberg's a bitch, so fuck her. And Moses Ingram kind of disappeared after Obi-Wan, and I don't know the other chick.
See, I'll give you my Daisy Ridley example.
Okay.
Daisy Ridley was fucked over by Star Wars
Yes.
because I'm laying this at the feet of Kennedy and Abrams and whoever else fucking wrote that movie. And this is just The Force Awakens.
Mm-hmm.
Daisy Ridley is cute. Okay,
Yes.
she's not super hot. She's not gorgeous. She's not glamorous. She's cute, or at least she was when The Force Awakens was being made.
Mm-hmm.
And it played really well. She was cute. Even their character in the movie was just cute. Mm-hmm. She went and did her salvaging, and when she got the rations and went back to the walker she lived in to Sydney, she put on that X-wing helmet and ate like she was like a kid watching Saturday morning cartoons, wearing the cape of the superhero they were watching.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah, she had good tomboy energy going on with her.
Yeah, it was cute, and as a result, we in the audience, we want to start rooting for that character.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she had endearing qualities at that point.
Yes. Then she yelled at Finn for taking his hand, and she knew how to fly the aluminum Falcon better than anyone.
Yeah. All right.
And they Mary sued her after that point, and she became annoying. Now, I don't hold that against Daisy Ridley. I hold that against the people who created the character.
Agreed.
And
I hold that against bad writing.
And it escalated from
back to Riho station.
she's doing Jedi raps in the fucking marketing. Because someone thought that was a funny idea, and it was just bad. And all these things took place that helped to damage her career. And I want to know why her lawyer and her agent are not being held in any way accountable for that. Because there should have been someone around to represent her interest, and her interest is not to go down a.
You got kicked, Mitch.
I know. That to not go down an escalating. Rabbit hole's the wrong word. I can't think of it. But to go ever faster down an escalating slide of dumb fuckery in her public presentations.
Shit rolling downhill.
Kind of, yeah. But the dumb fuckery of the marketing decisions and everything else being made. Oh, cool. Hanbo Station again. That wasn't on her, man. That's on everyone around her. And the fact that her lawyer and agent apparently didn't really want to have anything to say about it, kind of suggests to me that they're not there to represent her as much as they are to make money on the work that she does, or they're actually representing Disney/Lucasfilm.
It's more than likely the latter.
Yeah.
Again, all right. So if Disney would have shelled out the money, they had pre-made stories already written, shit people wanted to see. They had an existing, a whole bank of potential movies that they could have drawn from. They had a deep well. And they had the extended universe, and they had the expanded universe. They could have drawn from that, yes.
Tyr, we already knew that because of the fucking Marvel movies and DC movies, considering the fact they had the rights to all the fucking stories, and instead, what'd they do? They tried to fucking jam bits and pieces from 6 different stories into one fucking movie every goddamn time.
Yes!
They don't want to give the story time to grow.
Yes!
Like it should. It's just like when someone adapts a video game.
They want to cram all of it in there.
When they adapted Warcraft, they wanted to put everything in.
But they didn't do the work to get there.
Right. The first Warcraft movie should be orcs versus humans.
Yes.
And leave everything else out of it.
It should have told the story of the first war.
You don't do a Batman and Superman film and go from zero to Batman fighting Superman like in Batman Returns.
Yeah.
Or the Dark Knight Returns. The comic, with the armor and all that.
Mm-hmm.
You don't go from zero to that. You don't go from zero to that because that's a stupid move. You got to give Batman see the reason that worked in the comic book is because there were decades of Batman and Superman
stories
working together.
Yes,
but not just working together, but being in that initial conflict where
interacting
and getting over it and becoming friends.
Yes,
and you have to have that. They have to build that friendship before they get to that point where the friendship breaks down and Superman becomes a stooge for the state and Bruce becomes vengeful Batman,
old man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Instead of having, why'd you say that name?
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's why we get that why'd you say that name stupid horse shit, because they didn't want to give the stuff time to develop and evolve properly.
Again, if they wouldn't have used if they wouldn't have rebuilt the series, they could have started from that point. They could have even just started where they're at each other's throats. Like old man Bruce is retiring, and but shit is getting fucking worse progressively, and he decided, I need to come back out of retirement.
The one thing. The one good thing I do give about Batman v Superman for that one is the fact that we did not have the entire fucking movie of Bruce have to becoming Bruce Wayne and 30 fucking minutes of exposition to see fucking Martha and Wayne
get killed a billion times.
Martha and Thomas.
Martha and Thomas Wayne died.
Right.
Hold on. Let me read these from Kawasaki.
The repair teams.
What really upset me about the film, she was like, I thought the Jedi were a myth. Then in the next scene, she's basically using the Force without any training, and then he says the Martha scene was what ruined the whole fucking movie. Yes.
Oh yeah.
And then for that movie, the only other thing that got me is because I went and saw it in theaters is like I could understand the kids that were there, them not fully understanding the Superman character and mythos of like what happens when he, like, you know, the first time he always goes against Doomsday. But I heard grown adults fucking crying when Superman died, so fucking spoiler and whatnot. And it's like, did y'all not know the goddamn mythos of this at all?
Yeah, the death of Superman.
This is like parents getting mad at freaking like the Punisher killing a bunch of criminals and, you know, killing sex offenders and whatnot, or, you know,
Right.
Deadpool being rated R and him and having a fucking vulgar language and everything. And they're like, how could it be this way? It's like, did you do any fucking research into this at all? Like,
Well,
in this modern day, like I had before, let me get this thought out real quick. Like before I even got out of the military, I had the argument with a Dirt Boy about this. That's what he called himself. I can't remember what his actual career is. Like he did the building and shit for some of the stuff.
Okay.
And he's like, yeah, but not everyone wants to go through and read that. I'm like, dude, do you not know what year it is? Like this was like 2014 at the time. From like, you can go on to YouTube and watch a video where someone will explain the whole fucking thing to you.
For an hour out your day, you will get the entire primer from start to fucking finish, just for 1
yeah,
hour.
in
a day.
2 minutes.
Yeah.
Like you can get the freaking abridged version, you can get the long version, and guess what? You don't have to necessarily watch it. You can just have that shit in the background and listen to it while you're doing other stuff.
Yeah. While you're shaving your ass.
All right. Again, it's all right. Rings of Power, and I bring this up to say something about taking established work and trying to make it your own, if you will.
Yeah.
If you wanted to do that, why not create generic fantasy film series number 5?
Exactly.
Why if you wanted your own Game of Thrones, why attach it to the Lord of the Rings property?
Oh, that's simple.
But there's an illogical
It's because those things already have a built-in
a
audience.
built-in fan base.
Yeah, name
Yeah.
recognition.
They don't want to have to try to earn the fan base.
Yes, and that's the
But are
problem.
you?
Huh? What'd you say?
I'm driving home when I do with a trailer, and he kind of like riding the line a little bit.
Oh, okay. Be careful.
Well, and even when they want to have that built-in fan base, they gotta not fuck up the stuff that made the thing popular in the first place.
Yes. Picard and fucking Discovery and Strange New Worlds. They don't understand why Star Trek was popular. They don't understand what it meant.
No. They've got no clue what Star Trek is.
It is not a serialized story. You can tell a season-long story, but it has to be episodic. You know.
Well, it's also that one instead of like where it already has the built-in fan base is one thing. The other is it's popular, so they know they can easily be like, oh, well, if we attach this to this, it's more likely to get approved than if we're like, well, we want to do this generic fantasy story. Well, that's not
Right.
what's popular right now. What's popular is Lord of the Rings. So it isn't even always necessarily themselves going through. The studio might be like, oh, we'll just attach this to Lord of the Rings because that's what's happening.
Yeah.
And-
Sometimes they'll get a script like, can you make this a Lord of the Rings movie?
Yes.
They're quite literally pulling the thing from Zoolander. Like Lord of the Rings is so hot right now.
Yeah. Exactly.
but
Have
see-
you guys ever hear of a series of films called Mythica?
No.
Sounds familiar.
It's independent and it's low budget and sometimes it shows, but it's a good series of films. And you know, they're real movies, you know, they're not something you'd catch on like Tubi or Sci-Fi. They're real fucking movies, right?
Yes.
I shouldn't say on Tubi because Tubi does show a lot of good stuff, but I'm saying they're not
Hey,
like
Sci-Fi-
Tubi originals.
some of the sci-fi originals aren't bad. Some of them are straight god awful.
Some of them are straight stupid and insulting and bad, but others are bad and fun. And the fun part is the part that matters.
Because like I don't remember if we didn't do Dead 7 for one of the movie reviews, did we?
I don't believe so. No.
We are going to do that one for one of the Halloween ones because that's the zombie movie that has a bunch of former pop stars on it. So we got like Joey Fatone, and he's the one I can remember. And honestly, for a shitty it's a dumb zombie movie, but I actually think it's fun.
Well, yeah, Sci-Fi once did an original film, shitty movie by the way, but they had both Debbie Gibson and Tiffany in it, two of the 80s teen pop stars. And I watched it, not for nostalgia. I was never a huge fan of either of them. But I was like, okay, let's see what they're up to now. 20, 30 years later. Oh, okay. They're still people. That's kind of cool. And it was the movie was fun. It wasn't a good movie. It was a fun movie. And it has to be fun. That's the part that matters.
Yes.
Well, to slightly give a little bit of the plot as well, or is that really the plot? But it's like, because it being a zombie movie, instead of doing the traditional thing that like a lot of them want to do, to where only some characters may die.
Yeah.
You don't know which, like, if with the first time watching, you actually don't know which characters are going to survive.
Oh, right on.
Okay.
And it's really good, in my opinion.
Let me read Chaos Archives' super chat. Not super chat, his chats. What the MCU did better than DC was establish the entire universe. It took over 15 years to incorporate something great into the movies. Were bad, but some were amazing. Modern movies writers do not understand what makes something great, sadly. Yes.
And the other problem with Marvel was the fact they got to the point where they were putting out a movie every year.
Well, yeah,
that's not several movies a year. So
they were pushing characters that did not have big fan bases to begin with. No one fucking liked Captain Marvel. She sucks in her own fuck. How many times has Captain Marvel got rebooted?
You know what would have made Captain Marvel work?
Sexy Captain.
Don't hire Brie Larson. Don't hire Academy Award winner. In fact, fuck that shit. That's a bad idea. Instead, spend $50,000 for some basic acting classes for Ronda Rousey, and put her in the role.
And give her
would
class.
have been on board. And of course, give it a good script.
Here, you don't need to yell.
Give her classic look. Give her when she was with Marvel, and she was Miss Marvel. Make her return her to her sexy part.
That's the other thing, Tyr, is they skipped all of the stuff that made Carol Danvers Captain Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
And they just said, okay, if we're going to plop down Captain Marvel, there you go. No, you need Marvel. You need Rogue, for fuck's sake.
Yes, and that would have been a great way to introduce that would have been a great way to introduce not only her character and give a reason why she was inactive. She was in a coma for 12 years or how many ever years because she fought with Rogue and Rogue just ate her.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of context that got completely dropped from the character, and I'll tell you, where it worked with her being a good character.
Where?
Because they say Carol Danvers Captain Marvel just doesn't sell, and that's not true, because they did it successfully in Avengers: Earth's Mightiest Heroes, the cartoon.
Because she wasn't Captain Marvel, she was Miss Marvel.
Right. Because they started her character progression at the right spot.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't make her they didn't make her an instant
bitch.
Level 65 captain like in Star Trek Online. No?
Mm-hmm.
But that's the thing is Carol Danvers could be a likable character. Brie Larson cannot. And the second Brie Larson speaks as Brie Larson in front of the camera, she's unlikable.
And that's another thing.
And that damages the brand.
That's another thing. Shut your actresses and actors up because they go out and when they talk, they ruin your movies. Rachel Zegler. No one, when she started running off at the mouth, it instantly turned people off of Snow White. They could have got, honestly, Snow White could have got the initial, oh, it's Snow White, let's see what it is. You know, it could have made a decent amount back, but not its money, after people realized, holy shit, it's crap. Yes. But she opened her mouth and ruined the story. So nobody wanted to see that shit. Oh, it's not about true love. The fuck?
Yeah.
Really? Then what the point of the fucking story?
And again, Rachel Zegler might be a good actress, but I'll never know because I won't watch anything with her in it.
Yeah. Because she's an insufferable bitch, and she is. When she said "Free Palestine," knowing her co-worker was former IDF, you can't tell me it didn't cause tension between the two.
Well, it probably did. I don't care about that though because I just don't care about any of that stuff. To be honest, you know my stance on the Middle East. Fuck them. If they can't behave civilized, fuck them.
It's not America.
We should embargo the area and
let them sort it out themselves.
They can either sort it out in a civilized manner, or one can kill the other and be civilized with the rest of the world. Whatever. But I'm not gonna fucking stand by and support either side just because some asshole tells me I'm supposed to. Fuck them. The Middle East can fucking die in a fire for all I care.
Mitch, I keep saying I'm an isolationist. You want my blood and treasure, you join my union.
I'm not even an isolationist.
Honestly,
I want people to come to this country and to be Americans.
No.
What I don't want is a bunch of infiltration.
No. What I don't care about you coming to America and being American. What I care about is me helping other motherfuckers that don't. If the shoe was on the other foot, they would spit me. They would spit on me.
Oh yeah, no kidding. We don't need to pay people to hate us. They'll do it for free.
Like Ukraine, if America got attacked by say Canada, Ukraine isn't going to send troops, money, or anything. They're going to be like, oh shit, oh well.
No, they're not.
Europe isn't going to send troop ships or anything out. They're going to say, oh well.
Exactly.
I don't understand why I'm supporting motherfuckers. That's one of the reasons why I hate welfare. I didn't have any. I didn't get the fun parts of creating these motherfucking kids. Why am I taking care of these motherfucking kids? They're your fucking kids. Like that's always been my thing.
I agree.
These little motherfuckers is your responsibility. You should be going after the man. You should be taking care of your responsibility. Taking care of your fucking kids. Leaving my money alone. I didn't get the fun parts.
Yeah, you know, at least with a... See, that's why I say the good thing about a prostitute is that it's an honest-to-God business transaction.
Yep.
You don't get that with government.
At least she's giving me something in return. A cheap thrill.
At least not at the... Oh, here it comes. Jesus. Ugh. At least not at the general population level.
God damn it! How many?
But yeah, see, Marvel did it right when they took the time to establish the characters and to establish the universe that they all inhabit.
Yes, shoehorning her in at the last minute as a required reading was stupid.
Yeah, basically. In fact, I would say when it comes to the Infinity Saga, Captain Marvel was the biggest mistake they made.
Yes. Because you had to jump. Everything after the Infinity Saga was like introducing the new characters, like the Eternals, into their universe. Broke the like. Why weren't you guys fucking helping in that scenario?
Right. Well, you know, I'll give you another great example of skipping steps.
Yeah.
But this wasn't done the same way. Is the David Gordon Green Halloween trilogy for Blumhouse.
Mm-hmm.
And I use the word trilogy quite wrongly. It is, in fact,
connectivity.
I coined a name for it. It's not a trilogy, it's a mythology.
Mythology.
A mythology is something with the veneer of a trilogy when it is, in fact, nothing more than a contractual obligation. Or rather, it plays like it's nothing more than a contractual obligation.
It had to
And that's
lose
what
veneer.
yeah, that's what those movies play like to me. Because the first one, okay, we're going to ignore all things from everything except the first movie. Okay, cool. I can get on board with that, actually, because that's my stance. Is everything after the first movie is an exercise in one or two good ideas and a whole.
Okay.
Oh, so yeah, let's get rid of all that shit. They're no longer brother and sister. But the problem arose in the first film when all the characters behaved like they saw all the movies in the Halloween film. And it's like, what are you doing?
They read the script.
They went with Dr. Sartain, and he's the new Loomis. You know, because we have to pay attention to the fact that Donald Pleasance is dead.
Okay.
And he can't reprise the role. But so what do? They go with a Dr. Loomis or a Dr. Sartain to be another Dr. Loomis, and that's the wrong way to go. You don't replace that Loomis type character with another doctor. And this is the missed opportunity, because this would have made this probably would have doubled the income on the movie. This would have doubled the box office. Because you know how you had those two podcasters that visited Michael in the first movie to start it off? They work for someone else who shows up later in the movie because they fell out of contact because Michael killed them, right? So the guy who their employer shows up, and who plays their employer? Their employer is a criminologist, a retired criminologist turned documentary filmmaker.
Okay.
So it still makes sense that he has all the information about Michael Myers and the case and the history. But you know, he doesn't have to be a shrink to do it.
It's sort of like a Nero Wolf type guy.
No, he's just a criminologist. You know, he used to teach criminology, but he's retired. Now he does documentary films on different crimes and whatnot, because that's his retirement present to himself, to be able to go out and make these documentary films and to work with other people in the field doing the legwork while he sits at home, does the editing, does the writing, does the narrating, all that stuff. And who do we get to play that guy? William Shatner. You know why?
Hooker.
Because the Michael Myers mask is based on a Captain Kirk mask.
Well, it's a William Shatner mask, yes.
Yes. And that's why we get William Shatner. And we never play it up in the film. We never play that up because that would be cheesy, right?
Yes.
Did we lose someone? We lost Rotten.
I believe Rotten is probably
going inside.
Yeah, going inside and switching to his house phone.
Computer, yes. But you never play it up, you never play it off, you never make a gag out of it. The closest you come is you have one of the movie poster variants with William Shatner looking up into Michael Myers' face, and they're both profile shots. And Halloween 2018, whatever, or
hold on.
And it would be cute, but only if you never mention it in the movie.
Wait a minute, Chaos Archives again. I actually like Captain Marvel as its own movie, but I hated Brie Larson. The only creepy thing about Snow White was like 14. Well, technically the prince was only 17. Like, they were supposed to be young.
Right.
Like, the premise is that they are young. This young love. Like, it isn't like he's a 30-year-old man, a 40-year-old man. He's a young prince. He is literally maybe 2-3 years older than she is.
Young love.
But and you gotta remember, for the time and setting it's written, that isn't creepy. Creepy now,
exactly.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean because the life expectancy back then was 40 or 50 years old.
Yeah, so you married you were adult by 13, you were married by 14, and you had kids by 16, 17.
Yeah. So it's not that weird. If anything, it's weird that the prince was as old as he was without having a
wife.
A wife and a family.
Yeah, and even as a prince, like he should have been already married off to secure an alliance.
Right.
You know, but again, contextually, within the context of when the story was supposed to be set, it is not creepy.
Right.
Which movie?
Nowadays, yes, fucking
Snow
creepy.
White.
Snow White.
Yeah.
Shit, Cinderella was maybe what, 16, 15, around that area too. She was young.
Oh yeah, I mean, because those were they knew shit back then. Like, if you're writing a tale for 5-year-olds, you write about 10 to 15-year-olds because that's who the 5-year-old wants to be.
Mm-hmm.
That's who the 5-year-old looks up to.
Well, that's why, like, oh, we can go with another thing that was done in America that was a remake of something else, Power Rangers. It's the reason why Turbo was received so badly when they made a kid the freaking Ranger.
The Blue Ranger, yeah.
Yeah, you're supposed to make the Rangers someone that the children aspire to be.
Exactly.
Yeah, that went over poorly, and they had to increase his size instead of. You know.
Yeah.
Well, they had to because again, for all the action sequences and whatnot, that
It
was
was
based
Sentai.
off Super Sentai. But to go back, what I meant to say, because for some odd reason, whenever I get into my apartment, my fucking mic, I guess, stops working properly. What I was trying to say is Brie Larson has actually shown she can be a decent character and whatnot. Now the movie itself isn't well no, she's not a decent person, that one. She's supposed to be unlikable.
Well, no, I was saying she was a decent actor in Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah. But I would say the reboot of 21 Jump Street. Now you can have all the criticisms you want of the rest of the movie, which are valid considering the fact they turned something that was supposed to be a drama into a comedy. Which knowing more about it does irritate me.
Yep.
Even though I never watched the original 21 Jump Street.
Oh, I watched it when it came out. I've never seen the film.
The film isn't terrible, but you have to take it as that. Like, they don't shit on the original thing near as much as a lot of the others do when they reboot it. But no, like, Brie Larson actually played a decent, likable character, even fucking smiled. Like, genuine smile. It's like she had a good director or something.
All right, again, Brie Larson there are roles she can do in, but she opens her mouth. She insulted the fan base. She pissed everybody off. You know, she was insufferable to work with because Don Cheadle fucking hated her.
Oh yeah, that was a lot of them. It's because she got too big for her britches.
Yes.
She all of a sudden she got popular and it's like she got thrust into this limelight and she's like, oh, this means everyone likes me, and people are like, no, you didn't earn any of this.
And look how many movies she's been in since.
Exactly. But that's different from Daisy Ridley, for example, because Daisy Ridley, I think, took bad advice.
Yes, and
whereas Brie
was
Larson is
just
nothing. An asshole.
Mm-hmm.
And look at Daisy Ridley. Daisy Ridley was smart enough not to, and she doesn't antagonize the fans.
Right.
She was generally jovial. You know, when people were discussing, oh, what about the type of fans? I don't know nothing about that. I'm not speaking to that. That's not what I want to talk about. She stayed in her lane. She's not going out there, oh, you got to vote for this person and that person. And generally, you know, oh, if you don't like to support this group, you can't be my fan. You know?
Yeah, she's not putting people off.
Yeah, Adam Driver.
Fucking actors, actresses, fucking bands and artists and whatnot have tried that. Oh, if you don't agree with this, you know, you're not my fan. It's like, dude, you don't control who's gonna like who listens to you and whatnot.
Yeah.
Right. And to bring it back to Brie Larson for a second, when she said she doesn't care what 40-year-old dudes think about it, it wasn't written for you, or it wasn't made for you, that's bullshit. Entertainment is made for anyone who wants to purchase it.
Yes.
Now, I can honestly say that A Wrinkle in Time was not made for me because I read the book as a kid. I don't think it's interesting enough to be a movie now.
Fair enough.
So, especially now because of the way Hollywood operates and the way they butcher everything, I don't care. I'm not going to watch it. So no, it's not made for me, and I'm fine with that. And I have nothing to say about the movie because I'm not going to watch it.
But
But
she
to
should
go
never
out there
insulted
and
you.
but to get out there and to tell an entire demographic of people essentially that you're
Hey,
not
this is
allowed
no
to
longer-
enjoy my work, fuck you then.
Well, for a lot of them, it's
Fine.
also that whole thing of like, they want to be like, well, you're not allowed to enjoy this because this isn't for you anymore. Like, we understand that you grew up with this, and it's like you guys are the ones who have kept this fucking
Then going forever.
series alive, this franchise alive for so
I paid
long,
another
but
random.
it's no longer for you.
Right. Well,
And
it's
that's
like
the dumbest shit you can fucking say.
yeah, I mean, it really is. And, you know, they did that with Star Trek with the release of Discovery. And Discovery recently got canceled. And I went on the Star Trek Online forums where there's a lot of back and forth about Star Trek Discovery and its validity as Star Trek.
Again,
And
the people that
and,
like it, I'm never
well,
going to
Hank-
insult you for liking it.
no, you like what you like, but don't make false claims. You know, don't tell me this is the first time there's been a black person on Star Trek, because that's a lie.
Yeah, because we all know that there's been a black captain. He was a commander first, a black captain. There was a black admiral. There was 2 black admirals. I forget the name of the one that. Remember when Picard had to go and talk about the blockade? The one where Data was in command of the Sutherland.
Oh, yeah, the Klingon Civil War.
Yeah, I can't remember the name of the female black captain. I think it was something French. But she was the one making the decisions. Like, I'll talk to the Admiralty Board, but you put your team together. Already saying she'll approve it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Cisco's father, his actor, played a black admiral.
Brock Peters played Admiral Cartwright in Star Trek's 4 and 6.
Yeah. What the like?
Yeah.
Shit, you had before after that you had
What's her
fucking
face?
Jordan LaForge.
First black captain. Oh, first black female captain.
Nope. LaForge's
Nope.
mother.
Yep. And there was another female black captain in Star Trek 4.
Yeah.
We've been working on a new photonic finally.
And so yeah, don't go fucking. Anyhow, that's all beside the point because
Yes. Don't go blow smoke.
Discovery was divisive for a lot of reasons.
Yes.
And I went on the Star Trek Online forum and I posed the question, hey, because you know that someone pointed out, hey, it's 5-year anniversary since so and so died from Star Trek, but no one did a post like of any kind that Star Trek Discovery had gotten canceled.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I noticed this, and I went out there, hey, a question for the Star Trek Discovery fans. You know, all these other things get mentioned, even when it's just an anniversary. How come there's no mention of Star Trek Discovery being canceled? Do you not care? Did you stop liking it? What's going on here? And very few people answered. Suddenly, it seemed, all the Star Trek Discovery fans had gone away.
Mm-hmm.
Because I guess it's no longer current cool thing. And it never was the cool thing. They got trounced when it came to the various debates, because Star Trek Discovery is not Star Trek.
Mm-hmm.
It really isn't. It's generic sci-fi series with a Star Trek name, just like we were talking about with Lord of the Rings.
Mm-hmm.
It's only there to use Star Trek as a
backdrop for their activism.
A backdrop for their activism, but also as a wedge to get a foot in the door. All right, I'm going to go handle the damn. No, someone else is handling it. All right.
But you have the words writing the book Tolkien never did, or wanted to but never did. If he wanted to write the book, all he fucking had to do was write the damn book.
Yeah.
You can't improve Shakespeare. Shakespeare already written every shit he wanted to write.
Oh, you can improve Shakespeare by ignoring most of it. Yeah. And I say that not because I have a dislike of Shakespeare. I have a dislike of people who can't shut the fuck up about Shakespeare. Especially the high school teachers who want to tell me what Shakespeare was thinking when he wrote something. Fuck you, you weren't there. You never interviewed him.
Yeah, I always hated that in school. Oh, what did the author mean when he did this? I don't fucking know. I wasn't there.
What did the author mean when Jane took the knife out of the knife rack? He meant the knife out of the knife rack. What do you think he meant? That the launch codes were 056750?
What do you mean? What did he mean when he said the curtains were blue and her eyes were chartreuse? I don't fucking know.
What's the symbolism? Fuck the symbolism. You know what? A lot of these people should read things at face value for a change, but also a lot of the creators of the various arts should keep face value in mind.
Yes.
And not try to go too deep within their own reference masturbation.
Like, a good book is surface level. Like, look, when I said they went to war, they fucking went to war. There it is. Like, when people say, oh, the lion and the unicorn was representative of the crown and the monarchy and Alice in Wonderland. The fuck? Couldn't he just said that?
I get the same kind of annoyance when people start talking about Superman being a variant of the Jesus myth.
How do you get that?
Zod, not Zod, but Jor-El sending his only son, blah, blah, blah. Like, oh, shit. Can it just be a story?
Yeah, about an alien sending his child to Earth to save his life.
Yeah, can it just be a fun story without inflicting all this other shit on top of it?
I do think one of my personal favorites for the whole author thing is where like a person had that the teacher was trying to interpret, so they actually reached out to the author on Twitter, and the author's like, yeah, I meant this was blue.
Nowadays you can do that. Like, you can actually just go on Twitter if they have a Twitter presence and just ask them what they meant. Like that.
Yeah.
You know, we don't have that issue anymore. Like, granted, you can't do that for older authors, like, you know, dead authors or authors that don't particularly use Twitter or social media.
Right.
But for the most part, if they do, you can just go ask them, hey, what were you trying to say with this? Nothing. I was just trying to say that the goddamn curtains were blue and it was raining outside. Now she was cold, so she shut the goddamn window.
Oh, and the most boring one that everyone does, everything's a stand-in for Donald Trump.
It's like, she lived in Montana and it was fucking December. It's cold.
Yeah.
Somehow she was talking about the orange man.
Yeah.
That's another thing. I hate the fact that they shove modern politics into shit that modern politics has no place in being involved in.
Right.
Well, that's the reason
annoying.
why when the whole Sam and Frodo thing always gets brought up.
Oh, God.
James had to do that whole thing. Well, to play devil's advocate, and it's just like, I had to go and be like, dude, this is supposed to be something that would be set in like medieval England and whatnot. You're not playing devil's advocate. You're just being an ass. It wasn't to be mean to him, but it's like, you're not playing devil's advocate in this whole situation of them not saying no homo. That's a modern day thing.
Yeah, but even with that, you have to look at the context of when that part was written. Frodo was on his last legs. The ring is killing him. He has no strength to go on, and he needs him to push forward. So he's taking his best friend into his arms and giving him a reason to live, a reason to keep pushing forward. And he said, fuck it, if you won't move, I'll fucking carry you. Like a good best friend would.
Yeah, Tyr, it's like, we understand that. It's also that whole thing that a lot of people want, other than making the joke out of it, for the fun of making the joke out of it, because you're making your friend shit or whatnot. Quite literally, most of them, like, straight male authors make the most homoerotic shit ever, and it's just like, that's because you've never had a good friendship that didn't result in sex. You fucking degenerate.
Yeah.
Do you, do
This
you
is
remember
coming
the
from a
cartoon?
degenerate.
You remember the cartoon Luca? It was a cartoon called Luca, and it was about two sea creatures going onto dry land and like having an adventure. And it was based on the creator's childhood. Him and his best friend just doing shit. And people try to say that the two main characters are homosexual and gay. And the author came out like, no, it's not. There's no sexual context in between it. They are best friends. It's based off of me and my best friend's interaction as a child.
Yep.
The shit we got up to as kids. It's just a fictionalized version of that. Well, you coded them this way. No, I fucking didn't code them this way.
Back in a bit. Don't go.
No, you're
There is
reading
no
between the
coding.
lines of a cookbook.
Coding is what's there for is only a manifestation of people who want there to be gay stuff.
Yes.
Coding is what you do for computers and
Yes.
electronics, certain electronics.
All right. A while back, I had a conversation with a group of people that said, "Oh, Piccolo is the blackest character in Dragon Ball Z." They go, "No. If Piccolo was meant to be black, his creator would have made him black. His creator would have given him those traits and those characteristics. Just because he's stoic and kind of blunt and nonchalant doesn't make him black. Doesn't make him,
How does it make him black and black modern? Stereotypes of what black man is. He doesn't follow any of that. He takes care of it if it's not his.
Yeah." But that's what they trying to say. People try to claim him as one of their own.
Dude, they do that for so many different characters. They keep trying to say Yoruichi's black, and it's like, dude, do you not understand there are dark-skinned Asians?
Yeah.
That racist piece of shit.
I even have to bring up the context that even the concept of being black, it has a specific connotation. You have to be American of African fucking descent. Like, if black is just a phenotype, it's just something that's skin deep,
Well done.
then half the fucking planet's black.
Home with the message.
Then being black doesn't mean anything.
This reminds me of a debate I had with a YouTube content creator, actually.
Okay.
He made a video about how the Dominion War changed
Okay.
the Federation,
All right.
and he brings up it's about the third or fourth time he brought it up.
Mhm.
The when Cisco and Eddington were going at it before Eddington, in that episode where Eddington poisoned the Cardassian colony.
For the uniform.
Yes. And like I said, it's about the third or fourth time that he brings that up without ever mentioning that Cisco restored balance with what he did, and that was part of Cisco's plan.
Mhm.
And the reason it's not mentioned specifically and outright in the episode is because Cisco has to do these things without informing the whole crew, because their reactions have to be normal because Eddington knows them.
Hell, shit. He even states it when they're doing his final captain's log. The Cardassians will take back the planets that were poisoned, that I poisoned.
Yes. That's what I mean. He was restoring a balance.
Exactly.
And I pointed this out to this YouTuber, and I said, you do it so often that your name shouldn't be, or what did I said? I forget how I said it, but it come down to your name shouldn't be Lore Reloaded. It should be Lore Rewritten.
I remember him. He was such a fucking ass.
But he responded with trying to paint me with the Trail of Tears brush, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is a completely different thing. The two situations do not equate, because the Trail of Tears was a betrayal by the U.S. government when they broke the law. The law they broke was the Indian Removal Act of 1830, which in Section 1 of that act, it gave the Indians the option to move west of the Mississippi
Picking another random.
in trade for their land east of the Mississippi, essentially. But the U.S. government broke the law and forced them out, using that law as a foundation. But the wording of the law indicates that the Indians have the option to take the offer. Now, the two situations do not equate because Cisco was reacting to stresses that were, well, the stresses involved on Cisco's part were the Federation. They had their agenda. The Cardassians had their agenda. Cisco also had to worry about the Cardassian colonists and the Federation or the Maquis colonists, I guess.
He gave him fair warning.
Well, no, that's the puzzle Cisco had to work out. Plus, he had to bring in Eddington. So, you know, he's got 5 different things he has to consider and find a solution that works for all 5. All Eddington had to do was not poison a colony, you know,
She's got
and sabotage the Federation. He made himself, Eddington made himself a bigger threat than he needed.
Cisco said, when you attack the Federation starship, you prove the intolerable threat to the security of the Federation. And I don't know who met that threat. He said it. Exactly. He said it himself.
Right, but Eddington set the stage for what Cisco had to do.
Yes, he did.
So, no, I pointed that all out to Captain Reloaded about how, damn it, it'll come to me. It really will. About how the two situations, the Trail of Tears and whatnot, don't equate.
Yeah, are inequatable.
And
Chaos is right on one foot. Mr. Popo is black. Is careful.
I also pointed out, because other commenters had pointed out that he's something of an Eddington fanboy, and he had pointed out in some other in the very video we watched, or that I was replying to, he also played some virtue signal horse shit. Where, you know, I've dated trans people and I'm involved with the nation, so I'm not blah blah blah, you know, whatever.
So you're gay with extra steps. Got it.
Yeah, basically. So you know what I did? I decided, okay, if he's going to virtue signal like that, and try to paint me with this Trail of Tears shit, and if he's also the Eddington fanboy that he says he is, then I'm gonna use that against him. Okay. So I pointed out that you know, Cisco was working to restore a balance with all these stresses around him, that all these things he had to consider, while Eddington simply poisoned Cardassians, which is a racist thing to do and an act of genocide. He hasn't responded since.
I got into an argument about the nature of... so, ages ago on a Reddit thread, someone posted the picture of Cisco raising his glass at the end of in the pale moonlight. Yeah. At the end, and they said you have to do what is right even though you know it's wrong. And I said that's not the meaning of that episode. The meaning of that episode is, you know, well done. Every good intention, you know, every man has his price. The meaning of that episode isn't he was doing it for the sake of doing good. He got them involved in the war because he needed to get them involved in the war. He wasn't saving the spider. He wasn't saving the butterfly, you know, killing the spider so the butterfly didn't get eaten. He was killing the spider so he could eat the fucking butterfly himself.
Kind of.
You know.
Well, he was basically pointing out that in addition to every man has his price, but not only that, but he's really there's also the thing about that being one of the costs of war.
Yeah, and again, he didn't do it because the right thing to do was not get them involved. Let them come in the war on their own, whether it's on their side or not. That would be the right thing to do. The moral thing to do. He didn't do the moral thing. He took this fast way to get what he wanted, which was a victory for the Federation.
Well, that's the thing, is was it or was it not the moral thing to do? There's arguments, you can make arguments either way, whether it was the moral thing to do or not.
Ethically, it was not the right thing to do. He killed, he
killed
two men.
But was it? How many
killed-
lives did he save?
It was like weighing the life of 2 men against the life of a million. I get that.
Yeah, I know. It's a shitty. It's a shitty reality, but that's the point. Is that it is a reality.
Yeah, it's a war. What's done in Level War is beyond good and evil. I get that, but it's not like he did it because he was a good man.
No,
Well-
I agree.
You know, the point I was trying to make was the right thing, the correct and moral thing to do was be to get them involved in the war legitimately. Find a way to break them away from the Dominion without using deception, without falsifying records, without murder. If you want,
how long would that take?
true. And again, if he wanted wanted the moral high ground, he should have done it that way, but he didn't.
Yes.
So he can't claim the moral high ground.
Because in his judgment, ending the war faster
was worth the cost.
Was more important than maintaining the moral high ground.
Exactly. You know, he said it himself. Like, I bribe people. I bribe men. I'm an accomplice to the deaths of 2. I forged records.
Accessory to murder.
I'm accessory to murder. I forged records. You know, I lied, I cheated, and I stolen. And you think Garrick is the one that said it. All it cost was 1 criminal, 1 Romulan senator, and the self-respect of 1 Federation officer. That is a bargain.
Yes.
Like, and he
That's
knew
what
he
I
could
liked
live
about
with
Garrick is Garrick was
a realist.
well, he was a great way to ground the Federation characters.
Yeah.
Because,
And he had no
because of
problem
that
doing
kind
the
of
shitty
realism.
He had no
Let's
problem
face it.
doing the dirty things.
I think he did have a problem doing them, but he was used to it. And I think he understood its necessity better than most.
He was a pragmatist.
But at the same time, he was a pragmatist. But Garrick was also, I think, not an evil man.
No.
Which, you know, that tells us that shades of good and evil aren't always so distinct.
Shit, there were plenty of times where he could have just sacrificed the crew to save himself.
Yeah.
Plenty of times he could have done that, but he didn't. You know, plenty of times where he could have thrown Bashir under the bus for his own personal gain. He didn't.
Right.
You know. So he was at least somewhat had some code of honor. You know.
Well, yeah, and plus he had a whatever interest in Bashir.
Yeah. And I don't think it was
because
sexual. I just think they were outcasts.
Well, yeah, I mean, Bashir was an outcast on DS9 when he first showed up.
Because he couldn't tell people his secret.
Because what?
He couldn't tell people his secret. So he was
well, not just
outcast.
that, but he couldn't shut up either. But that was probably part of his cover, if you will. And Garrick saw something that he recognized in that, I think.
Garrick liked to talk, and Bashir liked to talk.
Yeah. Now, Rotten, what were you saying that Chaos said?
Oh, he said Mr. Popo is the blackest character in Dragon Ball. And he's right.
Yeah, he is the blackest character in Dragon Ball. Nope, was it Spabovich?
What's that?
In Z, there was a black character.
Get over there.
No, his skin is literally black because he's a Jin.
Yes, he's a Jin.
Okay. I'll never understand. That's after my time. And it's
original
from
Dragon Ball is like
early 80s, late 80s, early 90s.
It's also from an era of anime
That you never watched.
Well, yeah, but the reason I never watch it is because there's an inordinate number of characters that just scream when they speak.
Yeah.
And that gets on my fucking nerves.
Yeah.
I mean, going back to the old days and watching Speed Racer, some of that voice acting in the Americanized version was pretty shitty too.
Yes.
but it wasn't screeching characters all the goddamn time
Here,
like it is with the later stuff. Oh God, I wanted to hurt people over it.
here he comes. Here comes the racer. He's a demon on wheels. Sorry,
But the worst it got with Speed Racer was
Trixie.
when the car would be in a spin. For some reason, instead of going the voice actor went ha 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 ha. You know, like that never made sense to me. But that was the worst it got.
Well, when it comes to that as well, depending on which one you watch, this is why I have an argument with some people on the sub versus dub type thing, and it doesn't matter where it comes from, whether it's animated or live action, or it comes from a different country and has to be dubbed over, or they're gonna watch with subtitles. It's typically a lot of people like, oh, I like subtitled because I want to hear it in its original language. And it's like, yeah, but you also think that all those voice actors are good because you don't understand bad of that area's voice acting.
Yeah, you don't understand bad Japanese.
Yeah, like there's a whole fucking argument of whether or not in Japan, or for Japan, of whether you should be watching King of the Hill subbed or dubbed.
Oh God! Suddenly I want to watch King of the Hill in Japanese.
You're welcome.
That
Oh, dude, the best one ever is like when they took the way the fucking opening was for like Neon Genesis Evangelion and did the King of the Hill version of it instead. It's fucking hysterical in my opinion.
Yeah, that was kind of funny. Chaos Archive. The worst dubbed character in anime is from the second season of Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. He went by Mad Dog. His voice was the worst.
Well, the typical reason why I tend to have a problem with a lot of dubbing, especially like not as old dubbing, like some of the older dubbings, like I still like Yu Yu Hakusho, even though the dubbing's not great, is localization.
Yes.
Local, and we're starting to see that we're starting to see less of it now of an issue in the translations and everything. A lot of the people from the other, or it's like the IP holders from the country of origin are telling the localizers flat out, no,
Stop injecting your politics.
No. This isn't your story. This isn't what you were paid to do.
Right.
And if you're not going to do that, we're going to get rid of you. We're not going to go through you for anything.
And they
Exactly.
did.
Like you guys are familiar with Star Blazers?
I was gonna say one of the other things
familiar.
that got me is like I've watched High School DxD. Honestly, when you get further into the seasons, though, it's still a very, very ecchi show. It has some really good fights, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
And I watched it with the English dub because I just didn't fucking care. But like at one point they have him say ain't nothing but a Tide Pod or something like that. It's like, no, don't fucking add goddamn current what the fuck ever of the, because if you watch it after the Tide Pod challenge is no longer a thing, it doesn't make any fucking sense.
Yeah, don't date the product.
Yeah, that's why I like the whole thing for was it Please Don't Bully Miss Nagatoro, and they had the whole thing. It's like he's being sus. It's like, no, don't fucking use that. That is a fucking different thing.
Oh, Battleship Yamada. Okay, that's the Star Blazers were.
Yeah.
You can't try to put current culture into that whole thing.
No, you have to. You have to follow the Lone Ranger code.
Well, I actually kind of like to use this thing against them because they like to bring up cultural appropriation. So anyone who does that, hold on. So if they go through and localizers wanted to be that, I'd be like, hey, what do you have against Japanese culture? Why are you practicing cultural erasure?
Yes. Now, what I mean by the Lone Ranger code is one of the rules for the Lone Ranger was that he never speaks in those ways. He speaks clearly using proper grammar.
Yeah,
so
he's supposed to speak clearly and concisely.
Yes, and that way you can go back and watch an episode from the 50s today and still know what the fuck he's talking about because he's not using a bunch of slang from one era that doesn't translate into the next.
Okay.
So you can go back and say, hey, Clayton Moore is the Lone Ranger. Cool. That's
Well, I
a
mean,
good
hell,
show.
you can go back and watch old episodes of like The Gunman
Yeah.
and still get everything out of it. The only thing,
Well, yeah,
they
Wanted
use
Dead or
slang.
Alive, The Rifleman.
Yeah, but like they use slang, but they use slang of the time of when it's supposed to be set
Yes.
because of when it's done, which is still fine. But like again, we're talking about this thing's set in Japan. They're not going to be talking about a Tide Pod challenge.
Right. I mean, it's
What-
one of the reasons I don't want to see an American, goddamn American Star Blazers film,
Yes.
because you can't erase the Yamato from the equation.
You can't you don't have the cultural connection to the U.S. Potemkin the same way you would with the Yamato.
Well,
Right,
that's
or-
like okay. We can look at a more recent movie in that didn't get a lot of rave reviews and got said that it was called racist and that they didn't that it was whitewashed.
Ghost in the Shell.
Ghost in the Shell. And the people that were saying it was whitewashing, my only response to them was, so you don't know anything about the series, do you?
Exactly.
Yes. Again,
Because the Major is a cyber brain inside a shell.
a chassis. Yes.
Yeah, a chassis. So basically the whole thing is like, and it even gets brought up at one point in the show where they ask the Major, they're like, hey, you know, you're this damn good in a female body. Why don't you get a male's body that's, you know, bigger, faster, and stronger and can do everything that you would do better? And she's like, because I still want to be a woman. So it's a resemblance of her humanity before she went to cyberbrain.
Exactly.
There's a for the Ghost in the Shell movie, she said they put her in a child's body because her original body got destroyed and they had to rebuild it. So for the time being, she's in a child's body. You know.
Okay, Death Note Chaos could have been a decent one. The problem was they tried to take all the characters from the original. I mean, show like you still could have had some of the original characters, like the original Shinigami and everything. You just make it a different story. You don't make American Light, American L, like. You
And
make
Dragon
different
Ball
characters.
is just terrible.
Dragon Ball Evolution was also just that whole thing of people that didn't understand what it was supposed to be.
Yes, because, oh, Jesus fucking Christ, they didn't understand. Piccolo, they had vaguely sounding Asian word. And then they had fucking Ernie Hudson play a goddamn monk.
Oh, go on.
And then Chow Yun Fat's Roshi wasn't a perv.
Yeah.
Well, see, there again, in the original Space Battleship Yamato, the Doctor was something of a horny sex pervert. When it come to I can't remember the female character's name in the Japanese. But in the Americanized version, he was just an alcoholic who kept drinking. Or he wasn't even an alcoholic. I think he was an alcoholic sex pervert in the original, and then the American version, he just liked to drink his water, and he wasn't a sex pervert at all. And I use the phrase sex pervert kind of wrongly. He was a horn dog, basically. It's not like he was, bringing kids on the ship and fiddling them or anything. But he was always after the main female crew member.
He was a skirt chaser.
Yeah. He was Dr. Horny. And what bothers me is it was still a good show in the American, but it was they I think when they make changes like that, they trivialize some things. Because we're talking, the backstory is the Gamalas had been using meteors, I think infused with radiation, to bomb Earth. For whatever reason. I can't remember all the reasons because, man, it's been a long time. And they got a message from another alien to You know, here's a design to build a space engine that can get you to my planet, so I can give you the thing that will help to remove the radiation from Earth, so Earth can thrive again.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, they go to the other planet and they have to fight the bad guys along the way on the way back before they can, you know, implement the solution.
Yeah.
And it's actually a really good space opera.
Mm-hmm.
And but in a serious story like that, we're talking end of the world shit. And a doctor who's a skirt chaser is not the biggest concern here.
Yeah.
And the reason I say it, the reason I say that diminishes the story is because would he be a skirt chaser if the world wasn't ending? Does it make sense at all, localizers, that he's a skirt chaser because the world is ending and he might as well get a few in while he can? Because that's the kind of an attitude. That's a kind of a defeatist attitude, isn't it?
Yeah.
And that gives the character something to overcome. The closer they get to the goal of saving Earth, you know, the more he might realize that being that kind of a skirt chaser isn't necessarily a good thing.
And it's not helping, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, but no, let's completely remove a potentially awesome character arc just to make it safe for the kids. And it's got to be for the kids because it's a cartoon. Horse shit.
It's like what they did with Yu-Gi-Oh! There were a lot of guns in the original Japanese animation, and 4Kids censored some of the guns. So you have characters just fucking pointing at each other.
Yeah.
Well, 4Kids also didn't follow the whole thing of how Yu-Gi-Oh! Started, to where you didn't even have the cards for, like, what, fucking 20 chapters or some shit?
Well, no, that was season 0. Like season zero, and the only good invention from 4Kids is the Shadow Realm, because Yu-Gi-Oh! Was murking motherfuckers.
Oh yeah.
Like the Shadow Realm was fucking death. Like I'm going to send you to hell. People died.
I mean, 4Kids fucked over basically every anime that got put forth towards them.
Well, no,
I mean,
again,
they because I mean, look at the whole fact they had to tone down Sanji from One Piece, and they got, like, just like all the others that have done it. Because I think
yeah, because he was a smoker, and now he has a fucking lollipop in his mouth. What the fuck?
They did the same thing in freaking Yu Yu Hakusho with Kuwabara's sister.
Yeah, because she was a smoker.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, see, I hate that shit. Wolverine, they fucking castrate the cigar out of him.
Yeah, like he was a big chain smoker. I mean, when you have a healing factor that your lung can just take it.
Yeah, well, the best part that they did for that one, before they just decided not have him smoke, because Xavier didn't tell him he couldn't smoke. He just said while he was in, since he had followed him into that room, he's like, "You're not smoking in here, and if you don't, I'll make you think you're a little girl. I'll even have Jean put your hair up in pigtails." And he's like, "Okay."
Right, but that's in the movie. I'm talking in the comics even.
Oh yeah,
and it's because some fucking
Karen.
pissy Karen editor decided Wolverine shouldn't smoke because that's bad influence for kids. Fuck you. It's a character trait, and it ties into his power.
Yes, he
it's
doesn't
not
have
like
to worry about that shit.
It's not like Wolverine was out there doing ads for Camel cigarettes or anything.
Like the fucking Flintstones was.
Yeah, it's an honest-to-God character trait.
Lucky Strike.
I think they did Lucky Strike too.
Yeah, most did Lucky Strike.
Well, in any case, I mean, you don't erase a part of a character's personality that way. Wolverine could do that stuff, and he generally didn't care because that was part of his attitude.
Yeah,
Wolverine's attitude is built around the concept of I'm a badass and I know it.
Oh no, I'm going to die. And
well, if you're gonna kill me, can you at least make this fast? Because, like, I'm getting bored.
Yeah. But you know, Wolverine is you don't remove those kinds of character traits, or if you do, at least put something in its place that makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh, we can't have smoking or drinking now. It's like when the guy did the editor behind Spider-Man's what was it, Next Day or New Day or whatever the fuck that was, One More Day.
Yeah, One More Day.
He wanted Spider-Man and Mary Jane to get divorced because he got divorced.
So he injected
or he
his
wanted
own
to end
politics.
he wanted to end their marriage because he got divorced.
So
like,
he injected
dude,
his
fuck
own.
off.
He injected his own sensibilities into a character who he never created.
Yeah, and fuck you, dude. So you know, he had this whole fucking complicated storyline where Peter Parker makes a deal with the devil, and part of the deal is it's revealed that one of the consequences is that he's no longer married to Jane. Oh, shut up.
Chaos Archive, really quick. The only thing anime did better than the manga was keeping Pegasus alive because Pegasus and Bakura dueled. Yeah, he rips out his eye. That's how he gets the Millennium Eye, and he does not appear in the rest of the manga. So I agree with that.
Since you said that, I want to point something out.
All right, ahead.
Pegasus is the name of a winged horse. It is not the name of a species of winged horses.
Oh yes. No.
I just want to say that out loud because a lot of modern writers can't seem to figure that out. That Pegasus is not the name of the species. It's the name of one
going back to
fucking
the
winged
Spider-Man
horse.
Really quickly, really quickly. I want to clarify something. In the Chaos Archives, the character is literally named Maximilian Pegasus. Like his last name is Pegasus. He's not a horse or anything.
No, yeah, I know that.
He's just clarifying his thought process. But for the Spider-Man one, wasn't that part of the Civil War thing to where?
No, this was a different thing.
One. So I know there's one to where he reveals who he is, then he makes a deal to like go back to where he doesn't reveal who he is.
Yeah,
but in doing that, he's not married or something or other.
It might have been tied into that.
Now, One More Day was that Aunt May is dying. Like she's like incurable ass cancer. That's why it's called One More Day. He wants one more day with Aunt May, and to get that, he has to rewrite. You know, okay, it's the Faustian deal. I'll save her. Yeah, sure, I'll save her. She'll live one more day.
It's the premise of the story in the Ghost Rider. He saves his dad, but then his dad dies in an accident.
Right.
That the devil does.
Thing is, Spider-Man would never make that deal.
Yeah.
Because I mean just because of the whole responsibility thing. And he would recognize that it's irresponsible.
And he would accept the fact that he can't save her. He knows that, you know, at some point he will have to let her go.
Yeah, right. The one I'm thinking of is like, I want to say one of the Civil War timelines to where, like, instead he first starts with like joins Stark, so he reveals who he is as a superhero.
And Aunt May gets shot, but
that causes so much more shit with him and with Aunt May and MJ, and basically he does a thing with, I can't remember the fucking, was it Madam Web or whatnot, to where it'll go back to, and he can change that decision, but it does ruin their his relationship with MJ.
No, it doesn't ruin his relationship with MJ. What she does is she that's the setup for the Secret War. That's the official setup for the Secret War. He has to do something for her. That's what that is. Like him, that ties into what the Secret War would eventually become.
Man, I remember when the original Secret War came out.
Yeah.
That was such a fucking event.
Shit, honestly, the Civil War, the concept of the Civil War is amazing. It is, you know, government regulation versus doing the moral good thing.
Right. Well, it's a.
Wait a minute, can I read Chaos Archives' thing? Here's the thing about Spider-Man. A lot of people don't know about. He's very gullible and easily manipulated by everyone. Like one time, Tony convinced Peter to reveal his. Well, that's what we talking about. Yeah, but he would still understand. Like, all right, she's gonna die, and I have to accept that. Like when he lost Uncle Ben, he realized, like, you know, holy shit, I'm going to lose people.
Yeah.
And that's how he literally had to come to terms with the fact that his family is at some point going to die.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. There's no easy out for that because, ooh, I farted. Because those easy outs are irresponsible.
Mm-hmm.
And by that time in his life, he would understand that, I think.
Because he would have lost so many more people. He would have lost friends and allies.
I mean, he'd already lost Uncle Ben and Gwen Stacy already.
Mm-hmm.
And probably a few others that I can't remember.
And I believe he lost his parents.
Captain Stacy too.
He lost his parents. He lost.
Well, I know, but that's pre-Spider-Man.
Yeah, he also lost Thor.
Pre-bite.
Pre-bite. He lost like 2 mentors because I believe in that timeline, Professor Connors is dead.
Oh yeah.
You know, so he lost mentors, he's lost friends, he lost enemies, he lost allies, he lost loved ones with Uncle Ben and Gwen Stacy.
Yep.
He's had friends become enemies because of what happened with
Harry.
Yeah. So he understands the concept of loss and that eventually he will lose these things. One more day should not have existed.
I agree.
Now, if you want to say that eventually when he's older and because there is a timeline like in the X-Earth series, him and Mary Jane are divorced, but Mayday Parker is Spider-Girl.
Yes. Now, you're onto something there because as I've gotten older, growing up, I had rules.
Yes.
That I would impose upon myself.
Codes.
And the older I got, the more I realized that those rules meant nothing really. Like I wouldn't smoke the marijuana, and even now I won't. But for a while there, I was like, you know what? Fuck this. Because I needed to relax, and I don't mean like I was a little stressed out at work and it's Saturday, so I'm going to get high. I mean, I needed to relax. I was putting myself under way too much stress and pressure for years, you know. So I needed to relax. I got high. Cool. So I the lesson I got from that is not that it's okay to be high, because I still don't think it is. I think that's a bad idea. But I learned that you got to find a way to relax. You can't work all the time. You can't put yourself under constant stress.
Yes.
And expect to survive. You got to know when to let shit go. And that was I think that was how old was I? I was 26, 27, I think. When I had like a couple of months worth of getting high.
Okay, so I gotta say this. So basically, you had to know when to hold them and know when to fold them.
Know when to walk away.
Know when to run.
Jinx.
Absolutely, man. And it really did make a difference. And I still didn't learn it all the way. I mean, it's a lesson you learn in stages.
Yeah.
Now it's like, but again, it's as you get older, and I think as Peter Parker gets older, when he gets into his like 40s and maybe early 50s, he's going to be very, you know what? Maybe holding back is a good idea, but I shouldn't hold back so much that it prolongs the fight.
Or he would understand.
Hold back to not kill, but
but
not hold back enough not to stop the threat.
Right, exactly. If I got to break the vulture's arm,
stop him, and so be it.
Yeah.
The sooner I beat him, the better it is for me and him.
Well, and for private property.
Well, yeah.
Private property, people around.
Yeah.
Shit. Again, that's why I love the X-Earth series. He's older. He's wild. That's why I fucking hate the reboots, They make him younger and younger, and I'm fucking tired of young Peter Parker. I want adult Peter. I want Peter.
That's...
Go ahead.
I'll give you another example of what I want to see. I want to see a Captain Marvel story, and I mean the actual Captain Marvel, not Carol Danvers, not Captain Marvel. I mean Billy Batson yells Shazam, Captain Marvel.
Okay.
Because his name is not Shazam. Fuck that shit.
It is Captain Marvel.
That's stupid. That's DC being a package full of pussies.
Hey,
his name is Captain Marvel. God damn it. What's that?
I'll still say the Shazam movie was the first one. I haven't watched the second one. The first one was fun.
Don't waste your time with the second one.
It was fairly fun. The second one was fairly fun too, but
it seemed like for the second one they tried to go down the same path they did with all the other DC movies and tried to make it darker. It's like,
no, character bloat.
Come on, man. Stop trying to make everything DC dark just because of that worked for Batman. It doesn't even always work for Batman either.
Right. But what I want to see with the Captain Marvel story, because I think this would be awesome. Billy Batson is now 65 to 68 years old. And he's in the early stages of Alzheimer's.
Mm-hmm.
Not like where he's actually forgetting things, but he's more like in that Denny Crane kind of stage, if you catch the reference.
Mm-hmm.
And but you can still say Shazam had become Captain Marvel. And Captain Marvel doesn't age. So we get to see the flip side of the story where we go from a young man's power fantasy to an old man's power fantasy.
Old man trying to relive the glory days.
Well, no, not really trying to relive, because Captain Marvel doesn't age. There's no reliving; he's just living.
Okay.
But at the same time, with the early onset, not with the early onset, but with the onset of Alzheimer's, he could be standing in a bank waiting to do his regular business, and he starts to see some shit goes down, but because he's in old man mode with early onset Alzheimer's, he doesn't register. It's not clicking in his brain the same way that it might ordinarily.
Or you could have him eventually decide to stop, him saying Shazam and for the last time, and him just decide to live as Captain Marvel.
But then I thought about that. But then, with the wisdom of woman, or however that fucking worked, as part of his power set, he would probably understand that that's part of what turned Black Adam evil.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It would be a great story and a great way to explore the human condition. If you want to add another couple of layers to it, have Terry McGinnis Batman be a part of the story as well at some point.
I got one better for you.
Then you also pull the whole thing of, while he's having the Alzheimer's and whatnot, he's doing the same thing that they did in the original thing, and he's looking for the next person to pass.
Exactly. That's what I'm about to say. He's now going down into taking the old man route, realizing, holy shit, I need to pass this wisdom on, this power on to the next hero.
Because he's being like, I can't stay as Captain Marvel or Shazam or whatever you want to call it in that whole situation, because
Captain Marvel.
Because eventually I'll end up like Black Adam, and I can't let this power go that way. So I have to look for the next person to do this, but I'm slowly losing my mind.
Right. Captain Marvel would realize all that. That's the fun part. He'd realize all that and turn back into old man Billy. Or let's just call him Bill at this point, because he would probably drop the Billy thing since he's no longer 10. But in turning back to Bill, he's just
he's got like scraps of paper on. What's this?
Maybe.
What you could do? You know what would be amazing if as Captain Marvel goes down into the tomb, where he was once given the power, and he goes and he sits in the chair and he goes Shazam, and he sits there like, for some odd reason, sitting in this chair helps him, and he realizes, holy shit, I need to find the next one. And he literally becomes, and you could always play it off that's how the Captain Marvel was passed on. It's the older one realizing, holy shit, my time is done, and I need to be here to pass this on.
Yeah,
This is
I mean,
where
it
I
would
need to
make a
be.
great story, and like all great stories, it does an examination of the human condition.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't care what kind of story you're telling, if there's not a human story to be told, you're doing it wrong.
Depends on what genre.
Oh, you know what could
No,
be?
I don't think it does, because in let's look at Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
We're looking at a human condition of, in the case of Michael Myers anyway, of
Well, if we're talking about like it being the human condition, then yes, you would want to have a human story. But if I'm wanting to watch Godzilla whoop the shit out of another monster, that's a giant kaiju film, and I don't need the humans are there to run and scream in terror.
Yes, I don't want the
well,
humans
yeah, I mean,
involved.
no, look,
I might have misheard you.
Oh God, did it do it again?
That's
I have
one.
not yet.
Oh no. All right.
That is such a good fucking movie.
What?
Godzilla minus one.
It's on my watch list.
It is.
It really is a good movie, because there's a human story in it. It's a minus one story, so it's like the first time Godzilla basically shows up.
Mhm.
So it's set in World War II after the dropping of the atomic bomb. And such a good fucking movie, because the human element of that movie tells an honest to God story that makes sense.
Oh, okay. I think I know some of the stuff from this one, because I think Roanoke Gaming did a video on it.
Probably.
Yeah,
But,
he also did the one on, I think it was Shen Godzilla, to where it had a whole different one, and holy fuck did they have. It was maybe 20 minutes of Godzilla, but otherwise it was meeting the movie.
Yeah. See, you don't do a Godzilla movie. And I'm gonna call minus one sort of an exception to this rule. But if you're gonna do a Godzilla movie, it's got to be a Godzilla movie.
I hate to cut this conversation short, my friend, but it's time and I'm getting a little sleepy.
Oh, all right.
I'm sorry.
I was gonna say just a real quick end of the Godzilla thing. A Godzilla movie can have a human story, but it doesn't have to be a great, deep, in-depth human story.
Mm-hmm.
It can be a short, simple one.
Yes.
Because a Godzilla movie needs to be a Godzilla movie. The end.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for coming out and watching me, Mitch, and Ryan and James fuck around and talk. Me and Mitch will be taking over.
Discuss.
Yeah, me and Mitch will be taking over for Sanguine this Friday, so expect to see us the 20th again. If you read the little ticker, you will see all the various shows and whatnot. I need to fix the description because I got lazy and I didn't do it, so I'll fix it later. But that is what's happening. Parting words.
When you're at your worst, there's always going to be someone there to kick you while you're down.
Damn. Rodden?
Never go into a job expecting to make friends. They're a bonus, not the main thing.
Well said. So, ladies and gentlemen, I thank you for coming out. And Will, take us out.
No, I wanna take me home, take me home. Closing time. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.